Hello, everybody. Welcome. Hopefully, all the audio is working. Hello.
Hello.
Ah.
Hello. It's working.
Everything worked. I had a prophetic dream of everything going wrong today, but it's okay.
And it almost happened too.
It almost happened. It only partially happened.
Don't do that prophecy crap. That's terrible.
Oh man.
All right. Well, welcome to episode 7 of Star Trek Endurance. This is part 2 to Entropy's Demise. We had to leave a little bit early on Entropy's Demise part 1. It wasn't originally planned to be a two-parter because someone lives someplace where the power just cuts out, apparently.
Yeah, it was weird. I was looking out the window and there's just darkness, and that's kind of a scary thing when you're used to civilization. It's weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
I live in the middle of nowhere. That's every night.
All right, so we're going to go through some introductions. We're going to do a recap of what happened last time, and then we are going to dive into it. So I'm going to start at the top left, and we are going to start with Necro.
All right, I'm Necro / Czar. Sometimes I go by Czar. And I play Broken Chip, who is an exocomp that does silly voices sometimes. It's fun.
It is fun. All right, Chesh.
Hello. I'm playing the captain, Captain Tenelia of the ship on Star Trek Endurance. I'm also sometimes on Dapper's channel now. I am also on my own channel on 2 different channels doing all kinds of nonsense. If you want to see me being a goober, then you come to my channel. If you want to see like educational content about current events and with people who usually know what they're talking about, like, I don't know, Craig sometimes and Jordan sometimes, then come to Debate Hub. And if you want to see me lose my absolute mind drinking, go to Japper's channel. Yahoo!
What about the OnlyFans? Are you letting them know about the OnlyFans?
No, we're not supposed to talk about no. Oh my god. But we are also, I will be adjusting audio on the fly. So if you hear the audio is a little bit off, let me know. I am keeping an eye on it, but it's going to take me a hot minute to adjust it because I didn't get to do it ahead of time.
Yeah, because someone had a whole mess of technical problems.
You think that I actually had to leave because my audio wasn't working right for Discord? It was actually because vMix wasn't loading at all.
It does.
All right, Jordan.
Hey, I'm Jordan. I run the channel Reason to Doubt. So I'm desperately trying to not be the Shroud of Turin guy, and to that end, I'm going to try to be the NDE guy. I think that would be a much more palatable thing to be. So that's my summer project. I don't know when it's going to come out, but that's what's coming up. And here I play the executive officer, Commander Va, who is returning from a very educational leadership conference on Ryza.
Yes. They've been holding those for a century or so, and they're very popular among the command staff. So, all right, we're gonna reverse direction. We're going Bustrophodon. There's your vocabulary word for the day. Look it up. Craig.
Hello, I am Craig. I run the channel FTFE, where I talk to people whose IQ is lower than their shoe size, even Mikey Smith. So I was away for the past week. This is the clone that is more tanned because I spent a week in Tenerife. It was amazing. I apologize for ruining the show by my power completely cutting out the week before I went. I've got lots of stuff coming up on my channel very soon. I am debating not a doctor, Stephen Alonso, who made up a university and gave himself a doctorate.
That's always fun.
Yes. Will Duffy really wants me to do this debate, and that's on Monday. I'm really looking forward to that. So make sure you go and subscribe to me over there. On this channel, I play the tactical officer, 7 of 12, who is an ex-Borg Klingon who was roommates with an exocomp. So that's what his life has been.
The only way I think to have your degree be faker than Kent Hovind's degree is to make up your own university to give yourself the degree. Because, that's always impressive. Carl Baugh did that twice.
You should check out the website to this. It acts as though it's a campus and everything.
Oh, good.
But it's not. Oh my god. I'm going to rip him to shreds.
I look forward to watching that. All right. We got Zeralon.
Hey, that's me. I'm Zeralon. You can find me over at 4 Cozy Cats Games with my wife. We do all these geeky board game things. This last Wednesday, we did our session 0 for our Dragonbane actual play. It's going to be fantastic. My players are crazy. Guys, keep in mind next weekend, the 21st, is Free RPG Day. So check out your local area, see if you got a game store doing it. I have got my advanced copy of the Dragonbane module for this, and it is amazing. You can go there and just get a whole bunch of free stuff. Like, you just pick these modules up. This one will be like there, and you just pick it up for free. So if you want to check out some games, learn some new systems, find out if one of your local stores is doing it, it's an amazing time.
What's the name of the YouTube channel?
4 Cozy Cat Games with a number 4, the numeral, and then Cozy Cat Games, all one word. I can link it.
Yeah, put it in the
please
chat.
do. You should have you should have mod privileges on the channel. If you don't, you will soon. All right. Well, I am Dapper Dinosaur. I run this channel, Top Hats Off. I am the GM, although I am not the producer. That is, of course, is the talented and ever unreliable Chesh.
What? How dare you? That's so mean. I tried so hard.
Oh,
You know
but
what?
no counters, Mike.
I'm gonna make you suffer for that because I have a
Uh-oh.
I have a dollar store recorder.
Oh no!
Ow.
Oh no, I think my power's going out again.
You know, you guys want to hear how high this thing goes? Because it's like,
I don't. Thanks.
You're hurting my dog. Stop it.
I have a really expensive Native American drone, like a wood flute, and it's the worst thing about it is it's keyed like a recorder, and it has the same hole pattern as a recorder. So if you can play a recorder, you can play the drone.
Nice.
Hopefully she doesn't hit the brown note.
All right. Well, we're gonna go to Tiri.
I worked so hard, and this is the thanks I get.
I'm Tiriana. I'm not playing the recorder. I'm playing Pet Officer Billy, who is the beluga whale navigator of the USS Kongzi. But at the moment, or in this adventure, I have been playing Lieutenant Junior Grade Hon Jopkins, the Boolean science officer.
Yes. All right. And last but certainly not least, we come to Maddie.
Hey team, I'm Maddie. You can find me on the internet at Science Side Up, where I do some science communication stuff, and I'm actually working on a script for new content for that channel. And you can also find me at OK Roll, where I do other tabletop gaming stuff. Our next live and in-person actual play, our like filmed and edited series drops this Sunday. Actually, episode 1 of a game called Pride and Extreme Prejudice about Regency girls looking for true love and also fighting giant robots.
In giant robots,
As one
right?
does.
Yeah, they fight in giant robots. Yeah.
Yeah, and against giant robots. Because it's a mech battle game, if I remember correctly.
It is a mech battle game. Yeah.
Which I think is cool.
It was so much fun, and it's a lot of the we've got a pretty great local acting and improv scene here in the middle of Oklahoma.
Ooh.
And so this is just my excuse to get all my improv friends to play games with me in real life. So.
Nice.
And
so
Chesh did some editing for me on that one, so she's got her hand in it too.
Episode 4
and
will
Dapper
be
did art
done.
for it actually, but we won't see your art until the 4th episode.
Yeah, and
Wait, I did art for it?
and I'm currently
did
editing
art
episode
for it.
4 tomorrow.
What did I do? I don't even remember this.
I remember
Which
you
one?
showed
This
it
was
to
like a
me.
year
You were
ago
like,
when we
"What the fuck
filmed."
is this?"
Wait, hold on.
Yeah,
Start over, Maddie?
that was like we filmed like a year ago, but you made the battle map for the last episode.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I believe
It'll be
you.
a surprise for everybody, including Dapper.
Not me.
Yeah, it'll be so good.
Okay, cool.
Oh, that could have been one of the Dapper clones. I think one got out, to be fair.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
that
that's
could be.
true.
Mhm.
That's the whole
I mean,
Jurassic
I was
Park
about
thing.
to try to differentiate it by saying I gave you a really crappy sketch and you turned it into a thing. But that's every time I ask you to do art for me, so that does not differentiate
Yeah,
anything.
that's. Speaking of which, is the most recent map I did for you going to be on that channel?
It totally will be. We're actually filming that game tomorrow.
Is it a secret? Are we not
so-
allowed to say?
No, we can say. So we're playing a game of Big Gay Orcs, which is a game by Grant Howitt about a group of orcs in a last stand situation, and it's about finding hope in hopeless situations because instead of fighting, they keep sneaking off to make out.
They found love in a hopeless place.
Yeah,
They found love in a hopeless place.
This one does.
It's like there's a mechanic where like you lose hope when bad stuff happens, and pretty much the only way to gain hope that I can find in the rules is to go make out with the other orcs.
Yeah.
It brings your hope
Yeah.
on. So
yeah,
and I did it was a fun map to work on, actually.
Yeah,
So-
Dapper may be a really cool mountain orc base.
Yeah, because the actual sketch in the one-page RPG rules it's a little basic.
It's really basic. So I printed it as like a big poster, and it's going to be the backdrop behind me.
Very cool.
So it's going to look really cool. The people at Office Depot must be really confused as to what I do, because I'm printing off weird maps there a lot.
I feel like some of them might also play TTRPGs.
Some of them have
it's not
figured
that
it out.
Probably
uncommon.
used to it.
Yeah.
Chesh, this is what you need right here. You need one of these.
Ooh.
It sounds much, much better.
How could that possibly sound better than the recorder I got at the dollar store?
Impossible. All right, so we are going to do a quick recap of what happened last time, and I will do it unless someone else actually wants to, because I assume that players never want to. But if you do, let me know.
Shop and do your job.
I'll let you do
All
it.
right.
I mean, I know all about it, but I'll let you do it.
Yeah, actually, you might remember it better than I did, because I didn't watch it recently.
I did just watch it this afternoon.
I am.
Timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly stuff.
Yeah, so the Kongzi was drawn to a planet called Carina VII, I think, maybe, it doesn't matter. The numbers are all made up anyway. And there was reports of weird things happening, like the plants, especially the vines that they were growing the grapes on, because it's a winemaking colony, were dying off fast. There are children aging too fast. They found a boy who was like 2 months old, but who had the body of like a 5-year-old or something. Or no, it was like he was 2, but he had the body of like an 8-year-old. Doesn't matter. Who cares?
I think he was 6 months old.
It doesn't matter.
Brain young, body old.
Point is, and then he was tested for progeria, but we were like, well, he has no genetic markers for progeria, and also progeria doesn't make you grow fast, it just makes you age fast without growing any extra fast, so that didn't really match. So then they came down, and there's sensor interference in the system. They went to the planet, they met the governor, who is not very well equipped for like security type emergencies, because that's just not what they do there. They met the boy. The boy's up on the ship in sickbay getting scanned. Then one of the farmer, I don't know, do you call a guy who owns a vineyard a farmer? What do you call that guy?
Is it a vintner?
A winter.
Vintner?
Yeah.
No, I think it is
Yeah.
vintner. I think it is, yeah. Good. Jordan, I knew there was a reason I had you in this game, and it was specifically for your winemaking vocabulary.
Vintner. Okay, good.
Yeah.
To know.
Okay, I'll just leave now that I've served my purpose.
Oh no, we have the whole
Bye.
rest of the episode is on the winemaking planet. You never know when it will come back up. Yes, there was a vintner who came and was like, "Are you guys going to deal with the Romulans?" And at first it was kind of like, okay, are there actually Romulans? But then some of his story started actually adding up, and there was some Romulan DNA found. And then you found a trail that went off to a location off in the foothills that is where we stopped. And we're going to be picking up, though. Oh, sorry.
Becca's trying really hard to just sprint after that trail by herself because she's not a red shirt at all.
Well, hey, we're in the TNG era where the colors have swapped, and so now the random security people are in gold and not red.
She is wearing a gold uniform, but in her heart,
Right.
she's a red shirt.
It's all red on the inside.
I saw a statistical breakdown, and actually your chances were much higher of dying on the original Enterprise if you had a blue shirt rather than a red shirt.
Okay.
Because while more red shirts died, they were a much higher proportion of the crew.
Yeah. Statistically, the
proportionally-
scientists died more
Oh, yeah.
often.
Let's see. Lieutenant Matt the Navigator, member for 5 months and is at the lieutenant level, says, TTRPG question. What do you get for forking other orcs besides syphilis?
Great enjoyment.
Yeah, you get to have fun. And I think the make out can go as far in the role play as you want it to. and it still restores health or hope.
I think
Orcs might just think they're fighting, so they go along with it.
I think
you
Zoomy
are not
Tomato is.
guaranteed, but very likely to get an orgasm.
I think.
Yeah, is that before or after the orc correction?
Oh, nice.
I think we've got some really great ideas going on in the chat. Icarus says I need to learn the Star Trek intro so I can record it with the recorder.
That would be pretty fun.
And Zoomy
maybe
Tomato's
we-
trying to gaslight me. I know
Somebody
what
needs
Starbomb
To
is.
learn.
Chesh, you should learn the intro song, and then when we do, if we do a Lower Decks episode, we can have that be the actual sound for the intro for the Lower Decks episode.
Yes.
All right, I'll get
Okay.
on that.
Yes.
I'll do my best.
So now, the last thing we have to do before we get back in, actually start the game again, is let you know that there is a super chat goal. If it is met, it is only met by tier or higher super chats, but if it's met, then the crew will get a free refill of their momentum. Their momentum can go all the way to 6 at maximum. It starts at 0, and at any point after the goal is met, they can just declare that they want to have their momentum set to 6. And that's what that does. If they don't get it, well, then they just have to rely on the regular old momentum that the game gives them, which, it's usually a pretty good amount anyway. But that's just there in case, you want to help the team out. Okay, so we are going to start
Send
actually
help.
in a runabout carrying Commander Va from her leadership conference. And so, Commander Va, you are on your way back, and I would like for you to take a take a intelligence and con roll.
Intelligence being which stat?
Oh, I meant reason. I'm sorry.
Got it.
And don't forget to
I've
change your
been
drop
reading-
down.
I've been reading a few other TTRPG books here and there, so I need my brain
Okay.
to readjust.
I am bad
Apparently,
at
someone's
these, so-
channel name should be intelligence.
God damn it! Change
Hey!
your drop down.
Okay.
God, do you guys not know what I'm saying? Am I not audible?
No, we just ignore you.
Ugh,
What did she
whatever.
say?
I don't even care.
Change your drop down. By which she means make it so that your character name shows up instead of your actual name showing up.
Oh, gotcha.
And your picture shows up too.
That is
Hooray.
helpful. Anyway, so
Von
that is
Hopkins
actually
doesn't
gonna
have
give-
a picture yet.
that is going to give us a couple momentum, and you have figured out that the ship is in fact not at the rendezvous point, but you're given that that what was going on was done by Carina VII. You can, and that there's a impulse trail that direction. You can successfully figure out which way to go. It was a difficulty 0 task. I just wanted something for you to do now that you're here.
I followed the heck out of that impulse trail.
Yeah, you did. So good job. I don't even know if impulse trails are a thing now.
Well, I mean, you would
Yeah,
leave
they
a
are.
trail as you disturbed the interstellar medium, of the hydrogen atoms and stuff.
Yeah, sure.
The air and space.
Right.
Yeah, the air and space, right? I mean,
Because-
it is. It's just extremely diffuse air.
Right. Well, the element by which
And it burns differently.
yeah. Well, you see, the element by which the sun brings forth its heat and light is fire, and I don't care if it's nuclear fission or whatever. But what does fire need? Oxygen. That's right.
Yeah.
So
As a nuclear engineer, I can confirm that is correct.
In fact, as another nuclear engineer, I can confirm that watching JM Truth was required.
yeah. Well, I was a modified nuclear engineer, and we definitely watched a lot of JM Truth. So, all right. So, you can manage to get docked with the Kongzi, and I will say, let's. Maddie, I don't remember.
Yeah.
You were on the surface with your main cast character, right?
No. Commander Dulas broke the shields.
Got it.
Whoopsie.
Hey.
So she's
Oh, you
fixing
did,
it.
that's
And so
true.
I'm on the surface with Becca Paris.
Right. Hey, Commander Dulas, in this scene, could you give us
Yeah.
a difficulty 2 reason and engineering check to successfully beam Commander Va to the surface through the weird center interference?
I swear to God, if you don't
have
change your drop
4 points of
down.
momentum.
Give me a point of momentum, please.
All right.
I would like to spend one. And so there we go. Sorry, reason engineering?
Yes.
Okay, team, I have a 15 in that.
Good,
So we
because
should be
transporters
okay.
are
Do it.
famously
Oh.
unforgiving to mistakes.
I also have a transporter focus.
Oh,
Listen,
well, then you'll definitely get the transport focus.
last time I was flippant about rolling an engineering task, I broke the shields.
It's true.
Double
You
that
just considered
one.
not doing that?
All right. So
Hey,
that is
there we
not
go.
only
A
does that give
3.
you back that, but also there is a complication. So
Wait,
not
how? Why is
not
there a
ideal.
complication?
The real question. Okay, we're gonna ask chat.
Wait.
Chat. Should I transporter clone Commander Va?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would it
you-
clone?
what-
Would it clone
Why
both?
for her? Do it.
Hold on. Would it clone both Va, or would it only clone not the symbiote, but just the Trill? So there's an
Just the
unjoined
Trill?
Va.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
But
Well, actually,
because of the
isn't Va the
complication,
symbiote
that one
name?
will die in
You're
about
right.
12
You're right.
hours.
Malka. So it'd be an unjoined Malka and then Malka Va. You're right.
All right. Well, guess what? Commander Va appears on the surface right at the little entrance to the where the trail stops out of the foothills. But also, there's now
Oh no!
a person
Oh
who
no!
looks
Oh no!
just
Oh
like
no!
Commander Va, but who doesn't seem to have any access. So, Jordan, why don't you deal with that real quick on the ship? Because apparently this is Maddie's worst day at the job ever.
Okay, so where is clone unjoined Malka?
Unjoined Melka is on the ship.
Okay, so I'm like still
In
on
the
the transporter badge.
Yeah, on the
With
transporter pad.
me.
Okay, well,
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
She didn't just break the ship, she broke the lieutenant.
so unjoined Malka is going to like grab her stomach and just like look at Dulas in horror and say, "What did you do with Va?"
What? Oh, and I know I don't know. I transported you here, and I'm gonna like start checking transporter logs. Do I know what I did?
So the transporter log does say that Commander Va was successfully transported to the surface.
Okay. Commander Dulas to Commander Va.
On the surface, Va will say,
Yeah, on the surface.
"Yes, Dulas."
For no particular reason. You're on the surface, and you're joined. Still.
Va says, "I'm sorry, for no particular reason."
For no reason.
Just answer the question, sir.
Yes, I am on the surface, and yes, I am still joined, and now I want a full report on why you're asking.
Yes, sir. So by the way, you on the transporter pad can hear all of this because we're in the same room.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, bit of a transporter accident up here, sir. There's another one of you, but not another Va.
Is there character question? Does Star Trek have a regulation of what to do with transporter clones?
Surely they would after Riker,
So-
They
right?
definitely should.
Okay, so here's what I can say about there are two canon instances of transporter clones. They were allowed to keep the rank that they had attained when they were cloned, and they were allowed to keep any previous like service record. And basically, they were asked. The two clones were asked to pick names to differentiate each other. Although in this case, since you would have different last names, that's going to be probably what they just go with. And then they're normally just reassigned, usually not with their clone because that's considered to be a bit awkward. So, for instance, Lieutenant Thomas Riker ended up serving in Starfleet until he went and joined the Maquis, but that's just a him thing. That wasn't Starfleet like kicking him out or anything. And then when Boimler was cloned, he went and served with William Riker on the The Titan.
Titan.
I have
Yep.
two
Titan,
number
yeah.
twos,
Okay.
which with a total of 4.
Oh, and
All
for
right.
$5, Lieutenant Math Navigator says, "Congratulations, sir. You have a new brother. Well, sister, but yeah."
Okay, so I'll call them Malka and Va in order to differentiate
okay.
them. Okay, so Va is going to say, "Okay, what I want you to do, Commander, is get the ship's counselor and bring her to the teleporter room immediately."
Yes, ma'am. And
You gonna let her say, "Ma'am"?
I'm so confused right now.
Technically, "ma'am" is not regulation in Starfleet. All superiors go with "sir," but
Okay.
certain people have been known to slip up, and other people have been known to prefer "ma'am." So, like,
Va, I don't
Okay,
feel
I'll
like
just
Va
go-
cares. Va, that's not
Okay.
important enough for Va to worry about.
Okay.
Okay.
Uh, so get the ship's counselor, get the medic, bring them to the teleporter room. Malka is going to require help. And I'll deal with that when I return to the ship.
Yes, sir. Commander Julius out. And then I call our ship's counselor, who we
No.
haven't decided who that is.
Dude, are we going to red
It's
alert
true,
over
we have
this?
I mean, it's not a danger to the ship, so it wouldn't normally be cause for that.
No.
But here's what we can do: we can create a new supporting character who is the ship's counselor.
Oh, I thought you were
So-
gonna make the second Va.
Well,
No. Well, so the second Va, that Malka would have the same character sheet,
All
but
the
wouldn't
stats.
have the,
Yeah.
the joined
Yeah.
trait. Which,
Yeah.
So that talent would go away.
all right.
Yeah.
So we have some people here who have joined the channel as members. Let's see.
Very funny.
I think that I don't think we have anyone for Zumi. So right now they've got Nizumi on there, and so I'm going to go with that as a name, unless anyone really objects.
No, Nezumi works.
All right.
Nezumi sounds great.
What species does that sound like it could be? Nezumi.
That is a good
Horta.
question. Well, I don't have rules for player Hortas, so we're going to stick with ones that I do have rules for.
I don't know, I think it kind of works for Andorian.
Yeah, we could have an Andorian. Okay.
Love
Does
that.
anyone object to an Andorian?
No.
That is a no. All right, the rank is probably going to be a lieutenant.
Yeah.
And the assignment is USS Kongzi Counselor.
Good luck.
All right. So we have some attributes to
Good
assign.
luck, Counselor
First is
Tomato.
10.
Please make their middle name Tom and their last name Ado. Thank you very much. Netsumi NATO is pretty good.
Also, are we what pronouns are we doing for Nezumi here?
Nezumi feels she, her?
Yeah.
Nah, make it a boy. We got lots
yeah.
of girls. We got too many chicks.
Do we?
Yeah.
All right. Well, now there's a dispute. What do you?
Not more chicks.
More chicks.
More chicks. More girls.
So far, it's two for she, one for he. So we're going she right now. She, her, hers, whatever. Genitive case. All right. We have a 10 to assign to an attribute. I am assuming presence.
Well, insight because of their counselor. that
Oh
could also
yeah,
be
yeah.
useful.
Okay, yeah.
Insight.
All right. I'm hearing 2 insight. Any other suggestions? All right. 10 in insight. We've got 2 9s to assign.
I think presence and reason.
Yeah, that's
Ooh,
good.
that's good.
Yeah, okay. And then we have 2 8s to assign.
Yeah.
Control and fitness, I reckon.
Not a whole lot of daring on
Yeah.
this one, huh?
Yeah, no.
All right. We've got
Yeah.
disciplines. We've got a 4 to assign. I'm assuming medicine.
Medicine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
So
now we've got a
presumably,
3.
like- Science?
Yeah.
Science or command, yeah.
Well, that's a lot of sciences. And then we have 2 2s.
Yahoo!
Command and con.
Yeah.
Okay. And so we got a 1 in security and engineering. And then let's see, we've got 3 focuses.
Counseling.
That's just a
Team
whole
building
job.
exercises.
PTSD.
Team building exercises. Okay.
Wait a minute. Where'd you get that idea from?
Andrew
Transporter
Dulas and her
cloning.
best friends.
Because I'm
Trans-
We
There.
could just put in
Trauma?
transporter clone trauma. There we go. Trauma responses. There we
And
go.
they're a
Yeah.
specialist in fencing.
Fencing. Okay.
Fencing.
Fencing.
But
You've got
Just
really
like
quiet, Jeff.
Jewish.
I thought there is no commerce in the Federation. How can you fence stolen goods then?
Not
That kind of fencing.
Yeah. Plus, that you think there's no commerce doesn't mean that there is actually no commerce. All
It's
right,
called
well,
the black
that-
market.
Yeah, and it definitely exists. But that is a new supporting character. We've got
Yahoo!
Nizumi, she, her, hers. Let's see. I'm gonna change who can and can't see and control it. Can be controlled by all players. Boom. All right, we now have a ship's counselor.
Wonderful. 10 out of 10.
So
Excellent.
Would
I
counsel
did some
again.
quick Googling, and Trill, once they're joined, if they lose their, just like the symbiote will die if they are removed, the host will also die if they are not joined. So after the canonical answer given is 93 hours.
Ooh.
So I
Ooh.
would, now that I know that, because Va would definitely know that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna retcon that. We need the counselor, we need the doctor, and I need that runabout refueled immediately.
Well, the good thing is the runabout runs on magictonium as fuel, so like,
Yahoo!
it's good to go. It is
Yeah.
good to go. But also, the Kongzi has a quantum slipstream drive. Well, quantum slipstream burst drive. That could probably get you to Trill within 93 hours.
Dr. Hobnall, Commander Dulas here. I need you to come to there's a medical emergency. I need you to come to the transporter room. We have two Maddie forgot how to pronounce your first name. We have
Malka.
two Malkas. We have an unjoined Malka, and I need you here.
In the background, you can hear Malka saying, "What the fuck did you do?"
This is just not my day.
Now, I am with Hobnall right now, right?
Yeah, on the surface.
Wonderful.
No, they came up. You guys came up
Oh,
with the family.
That's right. We did. We did come up with a
Yeah.
plan.
yeah, Hobnall did. Okay.
Hobnall
All right.
did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'll book it to the transporter room.
All right.
And then
Someone is
Uh,
getting eaten by the
Mizuki?
captain.
Nizuki.
You mean Nizumi?
Nizumi? Yeah, I sure do. Nizumi?
Craig, play the
Nizumi?
counselor.
Oh.
Craig, play the counselor.
Nizumi?
Hello.
Nizumi?
How can I help you?
She has been smoking a lot.
She does not. She consumes nothing but cigarettes and whiskey.
Wait. Dr. Girlfriend is our counselor?
I love her.
Yes.
She's like, you guys ever see the show, the movie Atlantis? She's the old lady that's on the radio. She's that character.
Yes.
What's wrong?
I transporter cloned the XO.
The Malka will say, "What's wrong? I don't remember the Klingon Wars. That's what's wrong."
Yeah.
That doesn't
You
sound
can't-
like
We
that.
have an
Calm down.
unjoined
You need a
Malka.
cigarette. Just take
You need to get to the transporter room.
right.
Or maybe sick bay. I don't know. Hobnall's on his way.
I'm trying to. Can you just be quiet and sit down? So let me be clear. You're not the commander.
I'm sorry,
I
who's
think that was
speaking to?
Malcolm.
That's to the unjoined one that's just turned up.
Malka.
You're
Well, until 2 minutes ago, I was the commander.
okay. Now, so you've just lost how many personalities?
I don't know. I lost a dozen, I think. What does it matter? They're all on the surface.
Yeah. Okay.
I know where they are.
This seems like something we should get the cap. The cap. I need a cigarette. Hold on, one sec.
Yeah.
Can we get the captain? I'm this is maybe above my pay grade. With the whiskey. Yeah, but so you're gonna be going through. I understand it's gonna be hard for you, but please, can we get the captain in here?
On the surface, Commander Ba is there, everybody.
Hey, welcome.
Right,
So who am I with on the surface?
So you are with the captain, Chip,
Yep.
Becca Paris. Let's see, Tyria. I don't remember who you were because you weren't Petty Officer Billy.
I
Medical.
was Petty Officer Billy, but I played Horn Jopkins, or what?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, Han Jopkins, and
7 of 12
Zero
was
on-
there.
yes,
Mhm.
Tack is there. And Zero, do you have a character who you have on the surface?
Not now.
I had Dr. Hobnall, but I'm pretty sure I beamed back up when we brought the kid to
Okay.
sick beta to scan.
Do you want to have someone there on the surface?
Probably should.
Lieutenant Matt the Navigator for $5 says, I think we're already doing our Lower Decks episode.
Have you seen our crew? We've got a beluga whale, a fucking robot, an ex-Borg Klingon. We're basically the lower decks guys that somehow
And they-
got promoted.
They all
Yeah.
eat with their face holes. It's weird.
It's if we are Lower Decks episode, we should all be boring and Vulcan and humans.
Yeah.
Well, Jillian McDaniel, I don't believe, currently has someone controlling her. So if you want, you could beam down as Jillian McDaniel.
Yeah, we can do that.
All right. Hey, Maddie, why don't you have Commander Dulles take another difficulty to reason and engineering check to transport...
This will go great.
Oh
Jillian
no!
McDaniel down to the surface?
Disintegrate her, then we have one crew less and one crew more. It all evens out.
Oh no!
I would like to first
Mhm.
take Jillian by the hands and look deep into her eyes
So
and say,
Don't make it more
I-
complicated than it has to be.
cherish you and your husband.
What's going on? Should I be worried?
So
Well,
Malka, who is still standing there, I assume, is going to say, "Listen, Dulles, if you cut this, what's Jillian's rank, Lieutenant?"
Yeah, I think it's Lieutenant.
Jillian's in the chat
Well,
saying it's nice knowing
Yeah.
you all.
So
I'm dying today.
Commander will say,
I'm spending a momentum.
"Commander Dulles, if you manage to lose her leg, half her brain, any body parts get left here like you did to me, then I swear you will be an ensign on a runabout."
Yes, sir.
Roll that dice.
Please, 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 just fail.
I heard we have this
What did I
very
do?
new and important Packlet chip in the Federation.
I'll
All
tell
right,
you.
not only did you get the point of momentum back, but this time there was no complication. So Jillian McDaniel manages to get down to the surface completely fine. And also,
Hooray.
that makes this a new activation for Jillian McDaniel, which means we get to improve something about Jillian McDaniel.
Maddie, for God's
So-
sakes, change your drop down.
Oh,
It looks like she has not had a increase to a attribute, so you could do that, or you could give her another focus, or a value, or another talent.
Well, if we
And
can
Lieutenant Matt
bump
the
an
Navigator for
attribute.
$2. Oh, well, Lieutenant Matt the Navigator for $2 says, but the animal is inside out.
Jillian
what was
Jillian
the,
also said this is the closest my character has ever come to death, and it's the transporter. My
So
sides
what's-
I'm really
hurt.
happy to announce Spaceballs 2, but I'm not going to be happy until Galaxy Quest 2 happens.
That would be nice.
I kind of hate Tim Allen now, though.
Yeah,
But what if-
I think, honestly, they should just do a Galaxy Quest TV show with like a new crew.
Oh, that would be
Or
cool.
we could just make Rainn Wilson the lead in Galaxy Quest 2, because he was a character in Galaxy Quest 1.
Or
What?
we can also just play this game as if it is the Galaxy
And it
Quest
is
setting.
solid.
Well, the first step to that is what attribute do you want to increase there, Zerolon?
Let's see, what was the cap on it for this one?
You can
12.
put any attribute up by 1. So nothing is near the cap. But yeah, the cap is 12.
Let's go ahead and bump up. Yeah, let's do control.
All right, control's going up to a 10. All right, cool. Now you have Jillian McDaniel down on the planet. All right, so we are shifting focus to the planet. That is a new scene. Please drop the momentum by 1 there, Chesh.
Where is 7 of 12 right now?
7 of 12, you are just recently having Commander Va beam down next to you, as well as just then, not long after, Jillian McDaniel. And you've been hearing at least part of this whole conversation about the transporter clone of Commander, Malka, I guess, and all this. And also, there is a trail that has been leading off into a hill that just kind of abruptly ends.
So when we're down here, the captain's here, right?
Yes.
So when Va gets off the thing, I'm going to say, Captain, can I speak to you for a moment?
No, of course.
So it turns out I'm going to die in approximately 3 days,
Well, shit!
thanks to Commander Dulles.
What?
So there is a second me who is no longer joined on the Kongzi
that
who
makes
is
a
going
lot
to
more
die
sense. Okay.
in 3.5 days if we don't get them to Trill.
Noted. How far
Good
away
thing you got
is...
that quantum.
Yeah, how far away is
Oh.
Trill from us?
Probably about 15,000 light years.
What's that in time?
Well, because you have that handy quantum
12
slipstream
parsecs.
burst drive, you can get there in less than 3 days.
Okay, but less than 3 days if we leave like in 20 minutes, or less than 3 days if we leave in a few hours.
You can probably
At the
get there
speed
in a
of the
couple days.
plot.
Well,
Yeah, you can get there in a couple days. You've got a good, 12 or so hours of easy lead time before it becomes an emergency.
alrighty. Okay, then we were already on a time crunch since these people are aging at a rapid speed. We're just going to move that time crunch forward, and and I'm using my composure focus on myself.
Okay.
To be like, this is fine, everything's fine, we can definitely make it there, you won't die in 3 days, we're just gonna go and get this done, investigate these Romulans, and then we will run back, first priority back to get yourself.
Good. Second priority, reprimand of Commander Dulles.
Yeah, we'll find out, we'll do an investigation on that as well.
Of course.
Her rank is suddenly lower.
Suddenly, she broke our shields and then killed Va. For all we know, she actually
anti-killed him. There's now 2 of them.
actually, technically, we don't know if there should have been a clone of the symbiote as well that she killed in the process.
There could be a
Transporters
dead
are
symbiote in
complicated.
there.
I'm just saying, we don't know
This
that.
is-
We have to do an investigation.
It's just one of those Mondays, guys.
It's fucking
It's
Mondays,
Friday.
dude. All right,
Who else
off.
is having a bad
Friday
day?
the 13th. It's perfect.
All right,
This is-
I think this, because this is going to put us on a little bit more of a time crunch, I will gather. All right, crew, round up. We're on a little bit more of a time crunch than we were originally. Everyone, we are going to be going in a little bit more cowboy, guns a-blazing style, because we, quite frankly, just do not have the time to waste.
than-
Becca starts to run down the trail.
There is no more trail.
There's no more trail? I
Yeah,
thought
we
there was
running
no
off
trail.
in a
we
random
got
direction.
to the
But
edge of the
it
trail.
ends suddenly. I will take out my
Oh, okay.
scanner,
Never
my
mind.
tricorder, and see if I can scan either for some holographic tech or something underground, or maybe there's transporter residue.
I don't know, I kind
Whatever.
of like the idea that Becca starts running and immediately face first into a fucking invisible ship.
Like in
Bong!
Star Trek Insurrection, just bonk
All right. Well, give
into
me a
the cloak
difficulty.
ship.
Give me a difficulty 1 reason and science check there.
Okay.
Oh, I was really hoping I could. Can I try to find it with my face?
Well,
You can try.
yeah, but there was a request
Okay.
for a scan, so we're gonna do that first because that's the first thing
I
that
have
happens.
3 successes.
All right, well, you get 2 points of
Nice.
momentum added, and there is in fact some photonic signature, so something is going on that has to do
Okay,
with
yeah,
holograms.
something is here that is apparently hidden by a hologram.
I start flying forward until I bump into something.
Well, the first thing that happens is that everyone else sees Broken Chip just kind of disappear. And Broken Chip, you find that in fact, what looked like the side of a hill is an entrance to a cave that has a artificially constructed door placed in front of it.
Let's
All
move.
right.
Let's move. I follow.
Looks like we found the thing.
I'm
I
also
would like
pulling
to
out
draw
my phaser.
and go first.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. As you step past, or as the group is stepping through, the whole effect of the hologram and cloak kind of flickers a little bit and then just kind of goes down. And hidden by the cloaking field is this main entrance. It appears like it's like originally it appeared like it was a sheer cliff, and now, yeah, there's a door, and I assume you want to go in.
Yeah.
Yes.
I open the
Yes.
door.
All right.
Sure, of course.
All right, so you find yourself in a scientific laboratory, and as the doors open, you peer into a dimly lit room. Overhead lights flicker, and the smell of burning plastic and ozone permeates the room. From just a single glance, you realize that this was an observation post the Romulans hastily converted to a large laboratory. Given the destruction, it's unlikely that anything will be salvageable. The computer banks and consoles have disruptor burns, and smoke pours forth from the holes, and the floor is littered with smashed pads and other equipment. The Romulans must have evacuated this facility in a hurry because they have destroyed some sophisticated equipment that would be difficult to replace.
Does it look
Not
like it
good.
was destroyed recently?
Oh yeah, it's still smoking.
Okay.
Yep.
Do we
Can
know
I look-
what? Oh, I was just gonna say, do we know what kind of purposes this machinery might use just by looking at it?
So it's not clear exactly what the purpose is, just from looking at this.
Okay. Okay. That's fine.
Captain,
It-
if the Romulans have evacuated this listening post this quickly, they must have a vessel nearby.
And they likely know we're here.
I recommend we tell the ship to go to red alert and to begin searches for a cloaked vessel.
Agreed.
All right. So
I've
hold on. Let me
messaged
get the
the
red
ship.
alert sound.
Maybe Commander Dulas can break something else.
So
Suppose.
on the ship, when Commander Va hears that, she shakes off the medic who's getting her to the sick bay. It's like, there'll be time for sick bay later, and starts running to the bridge.
You know what? I'm kind of here for this. I kind of like having two number twos.
Technically, she's still the XO. It's
Tech-
not clear which one is to keep that position.
Yeah, no, I'm here for this. This works for me. This is great.
Down on the planet,
Yes.
can I make a quick look to see if I see did the Romulans run this way? You know what I mean? Are they still on the planet? Is there a swinging door? that
I'm
I
gonna
can see or
ask
something?
Khan to see if there's do a scan for any kind of transporter.
All right. For $5, Lieutenant Matt the Navigator says this cave is not a natural formation. Cortana 2552.
The flood.
That was one of my favorite voice lines as you're driving through the very obviously artificial tunnel. And it's like, this cave isn't a natural formation. Gee, Cortana. It's a good
Made
thing I
out
have
of
an AI
steel
in my head,
girders.
right? Jillian says, obviously not. It's a space vagina. Just ask Roger.
Vagina.
Maybe space dragon vagina giant.
There you go. Yeah.
Technically, every vagina is already in space. Okay,
That's technically true.
That's
everything
true.
is in
Also,
space.
is a space.
Dennis-
That
Fucking
we
Carly.
know of.
Well, where else would it be?
Not in space. There's space, and then
Where's
there's not
that?
space. Outside of
Obviously-
space.
Obviously, God is outside of time and space and a woman. So
Well,
No,
as
no.
you're doing this search, who was it that said they wanted to do a search?
Becca.
Becca.
All right, okay. Give me a difficulty 0 control and security check.
Amazing. Let's see if I can mess that up.
Probably can.
You messed it
No, you
up.
don't.
You didn't use your drop down.
Well, okay.
I'm
There's
not
that.
letting it go.
Wait, I don't understand.
You don't know what
What
the
do you mean I
drop down
didn't use
is.
What did I do wrong?
So under the chat part of Roll20, there's a drop down that says like what your name is, what character basically you're playing, and so you drop that down and pick the individual you're rolling as.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought I understand. Now I see it. I'm sorry. I thought that would do that automatically if I was doing it from a character sheet.
I believed in you the whole time.
But you did, while looking around, find, in fact, a Romulan cowering behind one of the burnt-out computer consoles, and Lieutenant Matt the Navigator for $2 says, after the front fell off, we towed it out of space.
yeah, it's not in the environment. We put it out of the environment.
All right, but now
Can I
there's
just-
a Romulan that was hiding.
Can I grab this Romulan by the collar and I might punch him in the face and then turn to 7 of 12 and very proudly show Space
I
Dad
found
what
one.
I did?
So you may. That is going to be a daring and fitness check opposed by his daring and fitness.
You mean daring and security?
I did. Thank you.
Yeah.
Look.
This is
we've
what
only
Jordan's
played
here
once
for.
in the
I did it
last 3
again.
weeks.
I'm sorry.
You know what? That is actually a big part of why I like having Jordan around is because he's
knows the
really good at
rules.
the rules.
Yeah.
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 So like he can help me keep on track because there's a lot to keep track of. All right. So that is why is Tack rolling that instead of Becca?
I don't know.
I rolled. That's my I got 2 successes. The roll above that.
Yeah,
Oh,
she
I may
did.
press that by accident.
All right. Well, you do manage to punch him, so roll your unarmed damage.
Okay. I've got to use this one. 'Cause it's over here.
Jillian says we were not having a good day. Random Romulan, and this is going on you.
I think this does
0
no
damage?
damage.
You did deal no damage, but you did we'll say you startled him a bit.
Okay.
Slap.
So he
Yeah, you just smack him.
and he does not look very happy to have been found.
Hey, make sure he doesn't
Yeah.
do that melty goop thing.
You can't aim for the shoulders; they're all pad.
It's true.
Yes.
Va will order 7 of 12 to secure the prisoner, and then put her hand on the ensign's shoulder and say, "Ensign, could you articulate for me what threat this Romulan posed to you?"
I've got
He
my
was-
hand
I love
hard
Voss
on
so much.
the-
Cowering very
Fine.
menacingly, sir.
I see.
It was just standing there, menacingly.
T-posing.
It's much worse. Cowering menacingly.
I bend down into the Romulan's ear. Were you cowering menacingly?
I don't know what that means. Maybe.
I increased my grip on his shoulder quite a lot.
He kind of winces.
I appreciate your enthusiasm, Ensign. Let's try to remember the rules of engagement, shall we?
Yes, sir. Sorry. I got a little excited.
I'm going to engage with the Romulan because we have a couple of questions and we're on a time crunch. Romulan, I see that you've destroyed most of your stuff. Do you happen to know what's going on with the aging on this planet?
Well, so I was sent here to convert this to a listening outpost for the tachyon emissions. We think it's related to the tachyon emissions.
Mm-hmm.
I came with a special tachyon detection device of my own design.
Impressive.
Thank you.
I
And
squeeze harder and say, make sure you tell the truth.
I'm just a scientist. I don't know why this was set up in the first place. I don't know what the source of the tachyons is. But we detected that you had arrived, and we started to evacuate.
Noted.
I'm the last one here.
Did they just leave you behind?
No, I was supposed to make sure that all the equipment that had anything was sufficiently destroyed.
Did you destroy your own invention?
Yes.
Where is it? Or what's left of
It's
it?
in the let's see. It was in this room.
I'm just gonna
If we-
gesture
if-
which thing.
It's here and there.
Yeah,
and
that's what I'm
there.
waiting for.
Well, so part of it is in the clean room, and then it was hooked up to the consoles in here.
If we provided you resources, could you recreate it?
I don't think I'm authorized to do that.
Are you authorized to be in Federation space?
Yeah, see, here's the thing. I'm more scared of the Tal Shiar than you.
I understand. And
What?
I'll draw my sword and say, the Tal Shiar aren't here right now. I am.
And I'll
Can I
increase
give you
my
a
grip and
pointed
say
look?
that we are.
This guy's collarbone is just gonna snap.
Here,
I do
Here's-
believe we need somebody to calibrate our transporters again. We could probably
here's-
use something to move back and forth a few times.
here's the thing. I don't actually know that the Tal Shiar isn't here, because you could just be a Tal Shiar agent.
I raise my other hand that has the Borg nanoprobes and allow them to just go out and go near his neck and say, "Do we look like Tal Shiar to you?"
That's the point of the Tal Shiar. You never know.
All right,
You're
all
the
right.
Spanish Inquisition.
Everyone
Yes.
calm down. We are in a hurry and we are wasting our time. Romulan, if we leave you on this planet, do you suspect that you will begin aging quickly?
Yes.
Why?
Well, because the tachyon emissions are suffusing the entire system.
And where are the tachyon emissions coming from? You don't know what's causing them, but
Carina-
what direction?
Carina 10. It's a
And
gas giant at a higher orbit.
Okay. That's good enough for me. Let's head back. Bring the Romulan.
I'll
I
sheath
very
my sword.
enthusiastically put him in hot handcuffs.
I just
Hot
pick him up
fuzzy
and put him on
pink.
my shoulder.
You just pick him up.
Yeah. He's kicking like a baby.
I like that. All right. As you guys are leaving, I would like everyone to take a difficulty 2 fitness and security check.
Difficulty what? Was it?
Oh,
2.
2?
All right. So let's see. Oh, tack. That was not great.
So you
huh?
said
no,
fitness
no,
and
it really wasn't.
fitness and security. Okay. I'm gonna
Alright.
use momentum. Thanks.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That seems
Please.
reasonable.
I'm gonna use that to get an extra dice. And
I'm
I
going
don't
to do that
think I get
too.
a focus for that.
Okay. Jess, could you give me an extra point of threat, please?
Yes, I can do that.
Because of mine, I assume.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
But I did get a 2.
You did, so you passed.
You passed cause a crit. I did not pass. But I'm gonna fall on my ass.
As you are exiting, the entire facility explodes, blowing all of you back.
Jeez.
And everyone who did not roll 2 is now going to be taking an injury that is going to increase the difficulty of any fitness actions by 1.
All right.
Oh dear.
That's me.
So yeah, that's going to be Tack, Jillian, Han, and the captain.
-1, 2, fit.
Yep.
That's
Becca
smart.
goes up to Tack and says, do you want me to carry him, sir?
No, I can do it.
See, the reason I didn't like stumble and fall is because I was floating, and then when the explosion like force happened, I stabilized myself.
Yeah, but there was
So
also a
good.
complication.
Good
so I'm
for
gonna say
you.
You're the
Chance.
one. You're the one who crashed into the captain because you got that one success.
Poof.
The reason she didn't get two is
Yeah.
because Broken Chip slammed into her.
I'll take it.
Okay, I would
Broken
like to
Chip is
point
fine
out.
though.
Perfect.
Sorry, what was that, Maddie?
I would like to point out that Broken Chip causes a complication, and he bumps into the captain. I cause a complication. We have a second exo who's dying.
Okay, but to be
And no
fair-
ship shields.
To be fair, I didn't actually take the point of threat for your complication.
That's true.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
So,
I'm pretty sure I have like a broken rib right now.
something like that. Like it's not a good time. But hey,
Ow.
all right. Well, you're back. So you're going to transport back to the ship. Guess what that means for Commander Dulles? And also, Chesh, could you reduce our momentum by one? Because this is going to be a new scene.
Yahoo!
Okay, so Commander Duelis is on the comms with the captain, and she says, Captain, I'll send a runabout. We don't have to beam you up. That didn't go well. And
We
I'm not
don't have a
entirely sure
lot
why."
of time, Duelas.
All
Okay.
right.
By the way,
So-
because I spent time on it, I'm going to make sure that everyone gets to see the cool map I made of the location where you could have defused the bomb.
Oh,
What? Defusing a bomb can't be us. Wait, why are there
Romulans.
two Romulans in here?
I just throw the Romulan at it.
So yeah, if you could show everyone, I just want to point out I made a nice fancy map complete with a power generator thing, a Romulan cloaking device that I based on the cloaking device from TOS.
But
And
instead,
I
we
put-
just blew it up.
But yeah, instead you guys didn't even manage to get into there anywhere, and you just the whole place blew up. So
Can I just say womp womp?
yeah,
quick
that's what I get for
question.
being prepared. From now on, no maps. Sorry, Maddie, go ahead.
We don't have any momentum to spend, do we?
You have one
You have
momentum.
1 point of momentum. Yeah.
I would
One.
love to spend that to get an extra die.
All right, Lieutenant Matt the Navigator for $5 says, "I want to see the Admiral's reaction to this after-action report."
No.
I am not looking forward to the amount of paperwork I'm gonna have to do.
This is the moment where you submit a very bad after-action report and take the reprimand for it being incomplete.
Yeah.
I'm not even disappointed. It's fine. I just wanted to make sure that not all of that work went to waste, so you guys can see. Sometimes I make fancy maps.
That's a
that's
really
all.
cool one.
Can the ship assist in this transporter role?
Actually, it should have
Does
been
the
assisting
ship-
the whole time, but that wouldn't have changed the complication. So
Yeah.
yes, it
Okay.
can actually.
Also, do we have
The,
shields?
Okay.
The
well,
ship.
let me roll, because I've actually been
Okay.
successful every time. I just got
Lots of
a
20s.
complication that one time. Look at
Um,
that.
There you
so
go.
This is going to be computers and engineering for the ship.
Okay.
There
we
we
already
go.
have 5.
All right,
6.
so that is 1, 2, 3,
7.
4 points of momentum added because
Yeah.
Amazing.
Commander Dulles nailed it this time.
That was my delegation focus.
So
By the way, you guys beam up and you see, and you're going to be seeing this everywhere you walk on this ship. There's just little teams of like pairs of somewhat traumatized looking engineering crew, like practically cleaning things with a toothbrush.
I'm gonna be
Right, that's what
walking.
the-
I'm gonna be walking through. As soon as I get there, the first thing I'm saying is, "Do last report. What's the status of the?" I'm like rubbing my fucking holding my side because of this goddamn exocom.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna be like,
What's the status of the-
What's the status of the shields? There's a Romulan ship nearby.
Excellent. Dapper, we haven't done a shields roll to see if I fixed
right.
them.
Why don't you give me a difficulty 3 control and engineering check?
Okay. I'm definitely using I'm definitely using a momentum. I don't have a focus for this. Because my focuses are like engines, teleporters, power systems, and computers. So I don't think any of that applies. So let's just see how this goes. Okay.
Okay.
How did I do? Wait,
Not
there's too many tabs.
great.
God
Not great.
damn it.
So
This is the best day ever.
those shields aren't coming back today.
Uh-uh.
So don't get into combat with a Romulan warbird.
This would
is
never
my
have happened with
recommendation.
Shelby.
A burn.
Oh, Shelby's good at chronoton radiation and how shields interact with that, is he?
Of course he would. He's good at everything. He's Shelby. There's not two of them in the engineering department of Starfleet Academy.
There's like a picture of Shelby like at a desk with him sitting there, and that's the picture. But behind him in the picture is a picture of himself.
Oh.
Yes.
I think this might be our funniest episode of Star Trek Adventures
I'm
yet.
so glad this was
I
two
think we're very
parts.
congested.
All right. So,
We need artifact.
So once, because I would have been aware what's going on,
Yeah.
say bridge to teleporter room.
Teleporter room, Captain.
Yes, sir. Oh.
Captain, did we manage to get you all aboard with all your limbs intact?
Everyone is on board. We've got a spare Romulan with us. Everybody appears to be intact. I think I have a broken rib.
Excellent. I believe I should be heading to the sick bay. If you could cut someone to relieve me.
Yes, we are on our way there now. Get to the sick bay as fast as possible. We're going to get you taken care of.
Lieutenant Matt the Navigator for $2 says several consoles are randomly sparking. Yes, over by the shield generators.
Or it's just running around smacking everything.
So I'm imagining
the rock ballast has fallen near the shields.
Va is like leaving the bridge, or sorry, Malka's leaving the bridge. The rest of them are coming to the bridge, and when they pass, it's just like Commander.
Yes. I like it. All right,
Oh
so
my gosh.
you guys are on the bridge. You know that the source of the emissions is over at Carina 10.
Yep.
You can't currently, from your current location around Carina 7, figure out exactly where in Carina 10 it is, but you could impulse over there relatively quickly. And by
That
relatively
is-
quickly, I mean like a couple hours.
That is what we do. I do I do go for a little bit of urgency and also keep eyes out for a Romulan ship.
All right,
Could we
someone
warp
Oh, sorry.
there faster? Can we
Yeah.
warp within a solar system?
You can't warp
You-
inside a solar system.
So you
You can warp, but
it's
we don't
generally
have
considered
shields
to be
right now.
hazardous. And yeah, you don't have shields. So like
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
maybe
And we
don't.
really do also want to keep an eye out for that warbird, and if we go too fast, we won't see it.
All right. So here is
Wait,
what I
Dapper-
oh, sorry.
I'm just good to be full honesty. Did you deal with the complication?
Oh yes, the complication is
Okay.
that it's not
We don't
coming-
have shields.
shields aren't coming
It's not
back
coming back today.
Today,
Okay.
yeah. So
I would
that
also
is the
like
complication.
to send Va is gonna go to the sick bay, and I am going to Va is going to the bridge. I'm going to sick bay to deal with my rib.
So I will let you know that this injury is not going to be clearing up.
I'm
in the
fine
next
with it not
scene.
getting clear. That's just where I'm going, just to get it checked, and then I'll head to the bridge.
So what I would like to know is, because we are starting a new scene and everyone is back on board, who is not planning to play their main character in this scene?
No, I think I should be playing mine.
All right. So I think everyone's playing their main characters right now.
Mhm.
I should also point out we have been live for an hour, so I don't know if you want to do a bio break or not.
People need a bio break or new drinks or anything?
Mm, Not right now.
All right, let's give it
I'm
a
doing
half an
all
hour.
Okay.
Okay, so I would like someone to give me a reason plus science task, which can be assisted by the ship's sensors and science.
I've only got
This
10.
is difficulty 1.
I have 15 total.
That sounds like you should man the science station there, Broken Chip.
All right.
Reason and science is not my thing.
Hey.
Boop. There it goes.
All right, so that is 2 momentum added. So you have found that the source of the tachyon emissions around Carina 10 are in fact a Constitution-class starship with the registry of the USS Hamilton NCC 1145. It seems to be floating among the rings of Carina 10.
And it's emitting tachyons.
Yes, it is.
Well, that's unusual.
I think I'm going to call our group into the meeting room and have a chat. About...
Oh, yeah, that actually puts you back on the bridge, so we can...
We can do that.
Yes.
Yeah!
Sadly, we don't have the fun little triangle monitors anymore.
Let me make sure that these guys can hear that audio.
All right, so...
There you go.
Such good audio.
While you guys are planning, I would like someone to give me a reason plus command task. Difficulty 0, so don't worry about it too much.
I can do that. I have a 16.
Yeah, go
Okay.
ahead.
Nice.
All right, so that's 2 momentum, and also you remember that the Hamilton was decommissioned. Let's see, it was decommissioned. I think at this point, some 60 years ago. So the ship was stripped of all of its core components and recycled for the metals per the Federation's standard procedure, according to what you remember. And so the problem is, though, that despite the fact that, according to everything you were familiar with from history and your knowledge of the history of Starfleet and whatnot, the Hamilton just shouldn't be here because it has been recycled to scrap.
Yeah, that's really odd when there's a ship that should be, razor blades and it's, there.
I hate time travel.
There does seem to be an awful lot of things showing up that shouldn't exist today.
Yeah.
You look at me.
Somehow.
Yeah. I will then look over at Duas.
Her eye is twitching in rage.
I do have a question.
And some things not showing up that should. Did your voice change today? Between days?
Yeah,
Within an hour?
It freezes for a moment when she shouts at it.
I turn around and I just gently tap the side of you. Poof. And now you start speaking French.
I do not.
You can't just throw that at someone without knowing if they can speak French, Craig.
He's Canadian! He speaks Quebecois.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Broken Chip. Je suis un exo-comte.
But I do have a question, if I may.
What's your question, Chip?
Did this particular ship have a mission in this area at any point in time?
Do we know
Not that any of you are aware of.
Okay.
The ship shouldn't be here at all. That ship was destroyed for scrap years ago.
Yes, but we are having time problems, so perhaps it's from a different time.
Has anyone tried to hail the ship?
Not as of yet.
I can do that because I'm the communications guy, but I can
I'm
try.
just getting everybody's thoughts before we do anything.
Okay, I won't do it until I'm told to, so. Oh, wait.
Talking to them probably wouldn't hurt.
Mm-hmm. Well, there is time regulation rules. If we talk to them, it could.
The temporal prime directive. It's okay. We can ignore it.
there are
Well,
rules.
we already have seen them.
And they are directly interfering with life on nearby planets.
Yeah.
So we don't have a choice to...
So we have to do something, but what that something is, I'm not sure yet.
Well, I think finding out what's going on with them, the first thing we should do is communicate. Second thing is to then decide if we just blow them the fuck up or see if we can send them home. If it's empty,
blow
we
them up
just if it's empty, then
one option would be to tow the ship out of the solar system. At least then it wouldn't be affecting life while Starfleet figures out what to do with it.
presumably, yeah. Well, Broken Chip, feel free to open communication.
Alright, I assume there's a terminal I can use here to do that.
Sure, or you can go. You can all go to the bridge. Doesn't really matter that much. There's no answer.
Can you
Okay,
scan
do
it
I
for
sense?
life forms?
Yeah, I was gonna scan like the whole thing to see if there's any like.
Give me a difficulty 1 control and science check assisted by the ship's sensors and science.
We have
What am I
6
talking
momentum.
The
about?
ship
It's only
doesn't help.
difficulty 1.
I don't have very good control. What was the other one? Science, you said?
Science. Yeah.
Okay, I do have good science.
We do have 6 momentum. I mean, you could
Yeah.
just spend a bunch.
Yeah, spend some.
Send it.
I'll spend 3, if that's
Okay. That's
good
2
with
dice.
everybody. Okay, here we go. Oh, wow.
Yeah!
All 3 back. There
Let's
are in
go.
fact Romulan life signs on the Hamilton.
On the Hamilton.
I'm just gonna lean
Oh,
over to
no.
Vaughn and just be like,
Human Rom.
are you
life
sure
signs.
maybe we should just blow it the fuck up?
Captain, I already have torpedoes locked. I can just press the button.
We don't have shields.
And I can't get him back today.
Well, yeah, but
So-
the torpedoes will be going towards them, sir. It's fine.
The shields are time locked.
Can we ask the prisoner we have if that's the ship they came from?
That's not a bad idea. Someone get on that.
All right.
Sounds like a job for TAC.
Ow.
Yeah, it does.
What am I doing? Sorry.
Asking the prisoner about the ship that they came on.
Right. Have I still got the prisoner with me? Am I still?
No,
like,
they're in
No,
the
I'm
brig.
assuming they're in the brig, yeah.
Yeah.
But you
Right.
can call down to the brig.
Okay. All right. I go down to the brig and I look at the prisoner who's got a massive bruise on his shoulder.
You can see
Um,
because you stole his shoulder pads?
No, because I squeezed really hard.
Yeah, but the question is, how do you know that he has the bruise? Because he's he's got a shirt on.
Because
With the
he's
shoulder
like
pad.
he's pulled it down, looking at it, like nursing it like a little
okay.
baby Romulan that's crying. I turn off the security field, walk in, and then grab it with my Borg hand and squeeze really hard.
He goes,
Oh, sorry, is that your bad shoulder?
Yeah.
Anyway, there's a ship out there. It seems to be a Constitution class Starfleet ship. What do you know about that? And I squeeze harder.
well, it sounds like it might be the source of the tachyons, but that's not something I could have detected from the planet.
And how do you know that?
Well, because what else could it be? It wasn't my ship. It doesn't seem like it's your ship. So, if there's
Did
a
you
random ass century-old Starfleet ship out there, then yeah, probably that.
Do you have any idea where this ship has come from and why it's out of
Earth?
time?
Earth and no.
Did you have any previous knowledge of this ship? And I squeeze really hard and there's a crunch.
Nope, I don't even think that the rest of the Romulan Empire had knowledge of the ship. I think that you guys, well, I probably discovered it technically, but I didn't know it was a ship.
You're not very much use, are you? I stamp on his foot and push him over.
No, I'm just a tachyon guy.
Yeah, whatever. And I walk out and shut the shield. I look at the guard and say, no lunch for him today. And go back up to the bridge and report what I've been told.
So on the reputation roll, resorted to violence without cause. Just keep that in
Definitely
mind.
going
Yes.
there, yeah.
It's a Romulan! It's cool!
It's like it's a Romulan. What do you mean without cause?
scientifically proven that Romulans don't have feelings.
Yeah.
That's not true. In fact, if anything, they have extra feelings.
That's pretty
Yeah.
much the opposite of true, yeah.
But you could dig into, like maybe what's actually up with the Hamilton.
Perhaps maybe they stole a marker or something. Like,
So-
the thing that identifies the ship. Maybe they stole it.
I mean, you could put the ship on screen.
Yeah, we can see the ship. So, like,
Looks like a Constitution class ship.
my
yeah,
question is,
Definitely a Constitution class ship.
Okay.
I'm trying to assess the threat of this ship. Like, what's the status of the ship in terms of weapons, shields, that sort of thing?
It is completely powered down.
Okay.
But there are Romulans on it
It
still.
might, if it's
Interesting.
completely powered down, it also might not be able to receive or respond to a hail.
And
Also,
even if
it
it
has
were
no
not-
shields that could stop a torpedo.
It does not have. That's true, but neither do you.
Well, yeah, but they also don't appear to have weapons or anything. We do.
But the ship is powered down and there are people alive on it, but there's no sign of life support being active.
People, Romulans.
Well, Romulans have this technology
Romulans are
called spacesuits.
Okay, that's what I assumed.
Can
Um,
spacesuits survive
what were you gonna say?
torpedoes?
Depends.
Technically,
Okay. Okay, I have a question. How many life signs did I detect?
that's a good question.
That is a great question. Hold on.
Makes a big difference if it's like 5 or 250.
Yeah.
It's an older code, but it checks out.
Well, it's definitely closer to 5 than 250.
Okay, so it's not a full complement, for sure.
9.
That
it looks
doesn't
like.
mean anything. 5 is closer than 250. It could be it could be 20.
Yeah, but it's 9.
Okay,
It's 9.
it's
Okay,
9.
so that should-
Lieutenant
So
Math
that-
Navigator for $2 says, in other words, it has the same shield level. It has the same shield level. Yeah, it has
Yeah.
the same shield level as you. But here's the other thing, guys. Romulans could cloak, and there could be like
Another
5
Romulan.
Romulan warlords
Yeah.
hanging out.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Just
Um,
behind us, yeah.
so I have a theory, I guess, hypothesis.
hmm
Perhaps they just followed the trail that the Tachyon guy gave them, and then they just found the ship and are exploring it.
I don't think we that while the Romulans should not be in our space and that deserves to be investigated, I think destroying this ship would be both premature and counterproductive.
I agree.
Aww.
So are we forming a boarding party, or
I recommend that we board the ship,
Mm.
and because the Romulans aren't responding to hails, we speak to them in a way they cannot ignore.
Pew, pew, pew.
Sir, if I might, I actually have another idea. The Romulans can't obviously or openly act in our. If we were to tow the ship so that the planet was no longer in danger, so into just sort of open space out of the solar system, and leave, say, a communication buoy or some sort of marker near it, and alert Starfleet, that would solve the immediate problem in a way that the Romulans present can't really openly respond to. Give Starfleet time to deal with the political aspect of this, and give us plenty of time to get to Trill and for me to rebuild every system on this ship from the ground up.
We have
That last one's a
one.
personal goal. That's unrelated to the overall problem.
There are one good thing and probably one not so good thing about that plan, which I don't hate. It keeps our crew a little bit safer rather than boarding. but it gives the Romulans as much time with a Federation starship that they should not have in their hands.
Agreed. And my only pushback on that is that it is a Federation starship that is 100 years old.
More or less.
Yeah.
It's not new technology.
Well, except that nothing that you know of should be emitting tachyons like that, so something's going on over there.
Yeah.
True.
Well, what do you think, Commander?
I think that we always have the option to tow it away if needs be, but a boarding party is something we could assemble quickly.
All right.
And while the boarding party will have a higher risk, I think I know exactly who would be very inclined to lead it.
Well,
Alright.
nothing says we can't do both. We could tow it away while we send the boarding party.
Here's what we'll do. We're going to you pick your boarding party, set it up. We will also set up both a runner and we will set up to tow. We want to keep the runner just in case we need to get our people in and out as fast as possible. And please, Doulas, pick somebody to run the transporter who is not going to split anybody in half.
I'll do it myself.
That's the opposite of what I just said.
Respectfully, Captain, if the accident happened on my watch and no one on the ship transporter systems better than I do, then imagine what would have happened if I hadn't been operating.
Yeah, besides, she didn't split them in half. Split her in half. She split her in 1.5.
Technically, this is more multiplication than division.
Oh no,
True,
that's
good
too much
point.
math for me.
Maybe it's
Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't we take a quick break? We can do any kind of bio stuff that people need to do. I'm not even sure if Craig is still here.
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry. I had
okay.
to deal with the dog a second.
No worries. So yeah, we're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, we will have think about who you want on the away party, and then we will send that away party over. I'm gonna let you know right now, though, because it's quicker this way. The tachyon emissions are making transporting extremely difficult. I don't recommend it, but you can.
Nice.
Boarding shuttle it is.
You'll just have
Yay.
to roll high.
Hold
arm
it.
boarding
Yeah.
torpedoes.
Yahoo!
Oh, wrong setting.
Jesus.
You know what? I do have Wrath and Glory, and after we're done with Star Trek, I might do Wrath and Glory. So boarding torpedoes aren't
Might be an
forever
option.
out of the question. Yeah, eventually. But all right,
For the
let's go.
Emperor?
Yeah, exactly. For the Emperor, or maybe you guys aren't playing Imperial. I don't know. Anyway,
For
we're
the
not doing that right now.
four-armed
We're taking
Emperor?
a quick break. So, Chesh, if you could get us out of here for a little bit.
Already done. You're clear. And we are back.
Welcome back. All right, we are about to head over to the Hamilton on a runabout, and we are getting the recommendations for who is going to be there. So I believe the XO was making that, and by the XO, I mean the XO who is still joined.
I'll present the roster to the captain. It will include 7 of 12. It'll include science. We'll need an engineer, so probably Jillian. We'll need someone from the science division. Is Broken Chimp Is Broken Chimp a science guy?
Well, he can do it. So I guess
I think we also have one other guy that does science.
Also, Hon Jopkins would make more sense than P.O. Billy. So
okay, so we'll bring 7 of 12, Chip, Han Jopkins, Jillian, and then I'll write Commander Malka. When I hand it over.
So how many is that?
5.
Well,
and I can bring more if other people want to bring other characters.
First, who wants...
Captain's staying on the ship. There's too much Romulan threat going on. I gotta stay here.
Right, so the captain and the XO are staying back. All right, so let's just start. So, Broken Chip, you're going as Broken Chip, right?
Yeah, and if I can, I have a free enhanced signal receptor I can bring with me.
Ooh.
So that way we can more easily communicate between the two ships when we go.
I like that. All right. Chesh, do you want to control a character over there?
I'm okay to just keep doing production.
All right, I'm assuming that, Jordan, you're going to be playing Commander Malka?
Yes, I will be playing myself.
Without yourself.
Well,
Zero One is... So Hobnoll's not on the list, so who would you like to be for this?
I already had Jillian a minute ago, so I'll just continue with that.
With it. So, Craig, you're going to be TAC?
Yep.
And let's see, Tiri?
I'll stick with Hon Jopkins then.
All right, and Maddie?
You can take...
I can Becca come?
Yeah, take Becca.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right.
We're going into combat. We'll need more security. Yeah. Second question, when the teleporter accident happened, did it replicate everything that Va had, meaning sword and dagger?
Yes. Malka has a sword, and she has got a Mechleth and a little stabby Doktog.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, so she can definitely stab a Romulan if she
Jordan's
needs to.
just trying to get the clone of him killed.
But does she
No,
know
I
how to
mean-
use them?
So that is actually an excellent point because the skill came from a previous life, and I wouldn't have those memories. I have trained in my current life, so I would have the muscle memory.
Maybe you'll be you think you're better than you are, and you like kind of stumble around with it and stuff.
I'll say this. For the sake of ease of play, I am just going to assume that between your muscle memory, your training with Starfleet security, and just being a relatively competent person before you were joined, that we're not going to make any kind of rules change to reflect the fact that you don't have the memories that were the reason you got those Klingon weapons in the first place. But I do want to remember that everyone who got hit by that explosion is currently injured and is taking a +1 difficulty on any fitness-related checks. So if you're trying to run, that's not going to go too well. So do remember that. All right.
Okay.
So I assume you all actually, and Chesh, could we reduce the momentum by 1? Where
Yes.
the approach to Hamilton is in fact going to be another scene.
Alrighty.
Can we detect if there's atmosphere and such, or do we need to go in spacesuits?
So let me double check. Let's see.
Did we sense that life support was on?
So the
No.
ship is powered down. If there is breathable air, it will be stale and probably low in oxygen.
Spacesuits it is.
Okay.
All right. Well, that's going to be another momentum to go grab the spacesuits.
So, just so you guys know, the enhanced signal receptor looks like those radios from that the military used in the 80s, those big backpacks, except it's a little one that fits on Broken Chip's back.
Well, Broken Chip doesn't really need a spacesuit, but sure, why not?
Well, it's the signal receptor, the thing I'm bringing.
Right. Okay.
He's got a little backpack.
Broken Chip.
Yeah,
Looks like
Need a
radio.
spacesuit, but
from
he
MASH.
wears one so he doesn't feel left out.
Aww.
Just like David from Prometheus.
Exactly.
I'm just imagining Broken Chip in like one meant for a human, just in the helmet, and everything else is just kind of hanging limp beneath it.
And he's got like little
All
limpy
right.
arms and gloves that are just on the side.
I need a daring and con check with difficulty of 1 to steer this runabout undamaged through the rings of the planet.
I have a 14.
I've got 15.
I've only got a 12.
I'll do it then.
Daring and
Oh,
con
I
at
wanted
12.
to try.
All right, Tack got it. All right, so as your runabout approaches the Constitution class starship, you can see it is in much worse condition than you expected. Given the amount of damage that the ship has taken, you wonder if the hull is still intact and if the ship maintains a breathable atmosphere. The tachyon bursts from the ship are causing the ship to deteriorate at a much faster rate than you expected. The starboard warp nacelle is badly damaged from meteor impacts, and as your runabout circles the Hamilton, you can see that the ship's shuttle bay doors are open and a Romulan shuttlecraft has landed. The Romulans have definitely beaten you there.
Mm.
Why don't we pull up right next to the Romulans and take their shuttle?
Just strand them.
Yeah, just we take ours back and someone takes theirs back.
So their shuttle's in the shuttle bay.
Yes.
Right, let's pop the tires.
All right. Yeah. Va will, or sorry, not Va. Malka. Malka will order Tack to put us down in the shuttle bay and order the boarding party to the rear of the ship so we can jump out dramatically.
Sir.
You better have
Okay.
like a Super
Oh.
Sentai pose.
Oh, I've got sword out, like ready to go.
Yeah.
Ginyu
Becca's
Force over
doing her
here.
best
Put
to be in
out
the front.
my Macbeth for my hair.
Hey, at least I'm not enforcing the Power Rangers rules where you have to name your weapon whenever you use it in order to attack. Like
You
I did
think
in the
they
Power Rangers
wouldn't?
campaign.
You think they wouldn't?
Taser. They would. They absolutely would.
Dabber, yeah, we
Macbeth.
actually did. I need you to know that I bought my toddler juice boxes today, and I was like, oh man, that's the return of Claire.
Aw. In case you guys don't know what we're referencing, there was a previous campaign on this channel about Power Rangers. I suggest you go watch it. It was a lot of fun. All right, so
Yeah.
landing on the Hamilton will require a difficulty 1 daring and con task. You have 4 momentum.
I guess I'll do that. Difficulty 1. I don't need any momentum.
Okay.
Famous last words.
Well, instead, he gained momentum, so yeah, you get it. All right,
Nice.
so let's see. You are now landed on the Hamilton, and you are still in the runabout. What is your plan? Is it to burst out in some Super Sentai poses?
Yes.
Yeah,
Phasers?
we've got to make sure we do the superhero land.
Okay.
I feel like this is ableism because my character can't do a pose.
What do you mean? You're the
Well,
mascot. You're basically the Scooby-Doo.
I
feel like you can do a pose.
2 little robot arms come out holding like little knives.
Hey, look, there has been more than one robot Power Ranger, so don't feel too bad.
Okay.
Trying
You
to
can
think,
little
how
be
many
the
have
little green guy that stops time in the Ginyu Force.
I guess if we're only counting actual like main cast Power Rangers, I believe there have been 2 robot Power Rangers.
I mean, also Alpha 5.
He wasn't a ranger.
But he was a mascot.
Well, yeah, he was a mascot, but Steel and Red Ranger from Operation Overdrive, one of the worst seasons, they were robots.
Would
Anyway.
the Romulan shuttle have a cloaking device?
Probably not.
We can.
It's just a shuttle. Not every single ship manufactured by Romulans comes with a cloaking device. All right, so
Okay.
you burst out, and it does in fact turn out that it was a good idea that you brought your spacesuits because the air isn't for the most part. Yeah, errant, no air. All right, so Chesh, if you could reduce the momentum by 1.
Different scene.
You burst out of your runabout in a striking pose worthy of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and into the deserted shuttle bay. The sickly green of the Romulan shuttlecraft draws your attention first. You notice that it is sealed up tightly, otherwise the shuttle bay is littered with trash and the remains of a quick evacuation. Several large containers sit against the walls with their lids open. From the state of things, you assume that the USS Hamilton was evacuated very quickly.
We stand there with our knives out and sword and just kind of look around awkwardly. I'm gonna just put these back.
All right. I think we should make our way to the bridge. Do we know where in the ship the Romulans were?
No.
Okay.
Bridge or engineering?
Bridge or engineering. That's a good point. Let's split up, gang.
Is that what you
Yes,
want?
because splitting up is actually not that bad of an idea in Star Trek.
No, I think if something is happening with machinery or whatever on the ship, it's more likely to be in engineering. So that's where we'll go.
Okay.
The bridge is pretty useless with the power's off.
True.
As we're going, I
you
go
go
to the front glass of the Romulan shuttle and bang on it a few times.
Okay.
Our chat is just debating whether Romulans cloak everything.
They do not.
Like
Everything
Cyril
is
asked
everything.
if they just cloak everything around their home and constantly tripping over, and then how do you get a Romulan child ready for school in the morning if you can't find their cloaked shoes?
Yeah, they especially
You
cloak
never get to go to school.
All right. So
Where's your bag, Timmy? I don't know, Mum.
Also, the blackboard is also cloaked, so you can't read it. So going to school is useless.
Yeah.
I'll take out my tricorder and scan for tachyon emissions and seeing if I can figure out if we get closer to it or where it comes from. If going to engineering is the right call.
all right. So I need to double check. So we got Becca, Va. We've got Han Jopkins. I'm just setting everyone up in a new scene here. We've got Tack.
Yeah, that's why all we can see is black.
Yeah.
Yep. We got
It even claimed Chesh.
Yeah, Chesh is cloaked.
Yep.
Let's see. Do we? Is Nezumi here? I don't think so. No. So.
No.
1, 2, 3,
No.
5. Who am I missing? Who still sees only black? Who
I
doesn't have a character on?
I
here?
see only black. So Jillian.
I also see only black.
Really?
Yeah,
Well,
I only see black.
Well, you make sure you've zoomed out because most of the map is
I-
black.
Yeah,
I have-
see the whole map, but it's black.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I just see a
Necro.
hallway.
you see a hallway? Okay, that's good. Tack,
Yeah.
you should see things.
Yeah, I see a
All
hallway.
right, who's playing Becca?
Maddie.
Maddie, can you see nothing?
I see a black square.
Okay. Let me
Rectangle,
just.
Yeah, because I can see the character piece, but
Okay.
Okay.
What did the toddler tell me today? Oh,
Now I see a
earlier
hallway.
today.
I see a hallway now.
Oh, I see
Okay.
a hallway. I was going to entertain you with toddler stories, and now you don't get.
too bad.
I mean, if you
Yeah.
want,
Alright,
I
so
can
who
break
doesn't-
out the recorder.
Who doesn't have a token right now? Oh, there's
Can
two. Beccas
anybody
out
not
I
see?
see 2 backup tokens, but yeah.
Yeah.
Ah,
here. Well, now there's a Han Jopkins. Who's missing? Who doesn't have a token? Necro, you have a token. Chesh shouldn't have a token. Jordan, you have a token. Zerlon, who are you playing?
Jillian.
All right, so you don't have a token. That's who I'm missing. Can you see?
I can see.
Okay, cool. As you exit the shuttle bay, you enter the main corridor that runs the length of the ship. At the far end of the corridor is the turbo lift that leads to the bridge. Along this corridor, you will be able to access engineering. The corridor is crowded with debris from the original crew's evacuation. The deck has started to disintegrate due to the effects of the tachyon emissions, making crossing the corridor fraught with danger.
Dun, dun, dun.
And
Ooh.
also, we've got the wrong. There shouldn't be the TNG bridge ambience, so I turned it off. All right.
Suddenly got really quiet and therefore very spooky.
Very,
The
very
void is speaking to us.
For $5, Lieutenant Math Navigator says, funnily enough, the Packlet also independently developed cloaking technology, but it only works on their intelligence.
That's how you avoid intellect devourers.
Okay,
Mhm.
so
Yes.
you are in the corridor.
So let's get to engineering.
All right, engineering will be straight ahead. So I am going to get you guys to about here when
Okay.
you are ambushed by a Romulan.
Bloody
Who is in
Romulans.
fact going to go first because it's an ambush.
Whoa.
And I am going to use 3 points of threat.
It's a Grumpulan.
Yes, but I don't. Wait, what? I don't know.
I don't know either.
It's a very
Alright.
grumpy Romulan.
Oh, yeah. Well, I only found like one picture for the Romulans, and so basically every Romulan who needs a token is going to have the same token, and you just have to
It's
deal
very,
with that. I
very
guess.
grumpy.
Yeah. Well, you know.
Listen, they have a lot of feelings.
They do, and a lot of them can be summed up as grump.
Yeah.
At
Also,
least
have
it's
you
a
looked
dude
at
with a
those
face. So we're good.
Have you looked at those uniforms? Those have to be very pinchy in very unfortunate areas.
I mean, TV uniforms are generally really annoying. All right, so I need
Oh,
page.
Cyrillon is also cloaking.
All right, so
If this is okay, I intended for Becca to be at the very front.
okay, you can move it there.
Okay.
Uh.
There we go.
I'll move my guy
so-
out of the way if you
He-
need that.
Yeah.
There we go. So he's going to shoot at Becca, and actually, Chip, I do need you to either move up or down to pick which zone you're in, because we're using those blue lines as zone demarcations.
That's fine. I'll just move here then.
Okay, so he's going to shoot at Becca with his disruptor.
Okay.
All right, so that is going to be control and security. So that's 1, 2. That is in fact enough. And so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep.
And
You
she's
take
dead.
4 points of stress from the Romulan disruptor, and it is now
Okay.
the player's turn.
Do you guys mind if I just immediately fire back?
Nope, you do that.
No, do it.
Okay.
Seems reasonable.
Yes, so I will use my hand phaser, which I do have a focus in.
Okay.
And so is that daring security?
Don't forget to
It
use
is
your
control
minor
and
action to aim.
Oh, yeah.
Control security, and I'll use my minor action to aim. What does that get me?
You can
You
reroll
can
a D20.
re-roll one die
Okay.
if it's bad.
Okay. So let's just do
Well,
a normal
maybe there's a
roll.
complication.
Although you don't need to. Oof.
Oh wow!
About 4?
Nice.
Two momentum, and yeah, roll some damage.
Okay.
Heart of
Hold
Tom
on. I've
going
got to
through.
roll damage off of Gloriana's type 1 phaser.
Oh yeah. But is there a difference in security? Your security rolls?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Some of
that
this-
influences your damage. Security is bonus damage.
What's your
Yeah.
security?
Oh, okay. Becca's security is a 4.
All right,
Here's what
so
we'll do.
here's
And-
I'll use mine and then drop the last die for my extra security.
Oh, okay, that
Okay,
works.
thank you.
All right, so that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
That's a lot of
there.
damage.
You just evaporated the guy.
Chesh, if you could, well, first, Chesh, I should have had 3 fewer threat because I did ask to go down by 3. But then reduce
My
it
bad.
by another 2, so I should be at 10 threat ultimately because he's going to avoid the injury, but he's going to take the
Okay.
1.
How
2,
can he avoid
3,
the injury?
4,
He's got a
5.
hole in his chest.
No, he doesn't. He's fine.
And presumably we are shooting with our phasers on stun.
Yes, correct.
Yes.
Obviously.
Yeah.
That
This
is for
Yeah,
crew
sure.
would
Sure.
never,
And so-
never be overdoing it in their aggression.
Yeah.
No. Becca
right.
takes that hit and goes jerk and fires back and hits him center mass.
A Romulan appears behind the corner, and I'm going to take
Hold on.
another point of. Oh, sorry.
Hold on. Since there's more than one, so now it's relevant. I have the quick to action talent, so during the first round, we can ignore the cost to keep the initiative.
All right. Well, would you like to keep the initiative?
I would, and I think
Okay.
since Tack is standing right there, he should probably go.
I
Yeah.
agree.
So can I can't see this Romulan yet that's not poked around the corner then.
Yeah, but it's like free to just move up a little bit.
Right, okay, well, I'm gonna go
Yeah.
up to here and then I'm gonna want to shoot him. So I'll use my minor action to aim. I've forgotten what am I doing. How do I shoot?
Control
It
security.
is. Yep. Control security.
Brain fart. I will use. Oh, I want 4 dice. So
That's 3.
okay.
Chesh is in a dark void. Everyone.
All right. So did I hit him?
Yes, you did. In fact, you also gained back 1 point of momentum. So we should be at 4 momentum now. And so roll damage.
Wait, 4? Why would we 1 momentum we put us at 7? Didn't we just get 2 a minute ago?
So we spent
It was-
3 and got 1.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
It was at 6. Spend 3. Got 1. So yeah, we should be at
Okay, got it.
math. Chesh is bad at it.
Listen, I'm having a day. All right.
That's
This is
only does
why-
goblin math.
This is why Chesh is an artist and not an engineer.
Facts.
Hmm
Facts. Don't ask me to design a building. I'd come up with something crazy like, I don't know, skyscrapers that dangle from the moon.
That's already like almost a thing that someone came up with. But where's that? Oh, there it is. So 1, 2, 3. That's not very good.
No.
All right, he's gonna fire back at you, and I'm gonna spend 1 threat to get an extra die for him. All right, so let's see. That is indeed a successful hit. Here comes the disruptor fire. I got bad news.
Yeah.
10 points of stress.
Oh, 1, 2.
Oof.
4, 5, 6, 7.
Oh.
Okay,
That
but
is
I'm
an
just gonna
injury unless
roll
you avoid it.
challenge dice right now. Right, so I'm now immune to that weapon.
Okay. But it still took effect. So you
Yeah.
are. Do you want to avoid
And-
the injury?
Yes, please.
All right.
That's
You can
like what-
you can spend a point of determination to do that.
Yes.
Okay.
Don't think that's how it works.
What's the what?
You can spend a point of determination to ignore the effect of an injury, but you can ignore being injured by spending momentum. I think it's 2 or 3.
I'll have to double check.
Rule check. Rule check.
Rulebook
Rule check.
time.
Roll back.
Page 177. A character may spend a point of determination to ignore the effects of an injury for the remainder of a scene.
Oh.
This doesn't require a value. So you still suffer at the end of the scene. The character returns to suffering the effects of the injury normally, and any medicine tasks made to heal the injury later are made at difficulty +1. And then momentum spends avoid an injury cost 2.
There we go.
Right.
To
I'll
avoid
do
a
that
single
then.
injury. The 2 momentum
Right.
to avoid injury, determination
There
or
we go.
to ignore its cost. Or
Yeah, okay, I'll
Well,
spend 2
by
momentum to
avoiding
avoid
it-
the injury.
There you go. All right, but it's
Uh,
still a lot of damage.
Yeah, but I'm now immune to that weapon, so.
Okay.
But
Does
not
that
when
last
he
for the
throws it in
scene?
your face.
Immune to for the remainder of the scene.
Okay, got it. All right. So it is the player's turn. Basically, everyone who hasn't gone, you can go. That's it. We got two Romulans here.
Nice. I will shoot a Romulan, and Borg Emporia asked if we could get a reminder of what the directives were.
Determine what is going on Carina VII, the Prime Directive, and the Temporal Prime Directive. And yeah, that's basically it.
The important thing is there's no directive that says don't start a war with the Romulans.
Yep.
Technically true. It looks like Jillian McDaniel. Who were you shooting at, Jillian?
The Romulan in the little square room.
Got it. All right. So that is a hit. So roll some damage. All right. Unfortunately, though, he has cover, so I get to roll some cover dice to possibly reduce that from 3 to, I don't know, to nothing, actually. So you shot at him, but instead of actually hitting, he was protected by the door frame. Boo.
These damn doors. Why do we even have these?
I know. Right?
I
Yeah.
will.
Open floor
Take-
plan starships coming soon.
I'll take my
Yeah.
minor action to move one zone, and
Okay.
then shoot at the guy in the room.
Got it.
Using my hand phaser's focus. And I will spend 1 momentum to get an extra die. Good thing I got that extra die.
Yeah, give me
Nice.
2 points of threat there, Chesh. And yeah, you got him anyway. So roll your damage, I guess. Oh yeah, no, he's stunned and on the ground and unconscious.
Twitching slightly.
Yeah, he is.
Cool.
He is what you call out of stress,
Mom!
or actually, he's at full stress, so he's very stressed. All right.
Yeah.
So I think all we have left now is Broken Chip and Han Jopkins, who would like to go first.
Yes. I'm a very bad shot, so
So am I.
I put a little skull and crossbones to indicate that he's well, he's not dead, but he's out of-
Incapacitated.
yeah.
That's a good word.
All right.
I think
Han
his
Jopkins,
face
I
is
guess it's-
appropriate.
Or is it Broken Chip? Yeah.
I-
okay, Chip.
I-
Well,
I'm just gonna. There's not much I can do right now from where I am, so I'm gonna have to move at least
Okay.
one.
you are allowed to do that.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do that first. I guess I'll try and shoot him. It's
Okay.
not gonna go great, but I'll try.
It's better than nothing.
Sure. Because I can't think of anything else I'll do on this turn.
Also,
so
I'm very
sure.
happy I got to use these tiles that I paid for once again. They were
They
super
look
expensive,
really
but
good.
it's nice. They do. They're very nice.
I'm going to be rolling a total of 9. So let's see
Apparently,
how this goes.
Zumi thinks that the odds of a TPK are going up.
Ooh.
Oof.
Excuse me.
Hey,
I
that's
got
hit.
a
You hit?
2.
All right, roll that damage. He's going to get some cover, but hey, see what you got.
All right, I'm going to roll my phaser. My only phaser I got here. I don't know why it says type 2, but...
Unfortunately, yeah, the cover protected him.
Yeah, that's all right.
All right, and last but certainly maybe least, Hom Jopkins.
Yeah, I'll spend my minor action to move up here, and then I'll shoot wildly round the corner and hope I'll hit anything.
Okay, cool.
Control, security. Don't think I have anything that helps. Okay.
I mean, you have...
No.
Oh, okay. I'll get some Klingon emojis in the chat. I like that.
Nice.
Got the Klingon face. All right, yeah, no, and also I get an extra threat.
Yeah.
But it is the player's turn again, because now that we're out of the whole ambush thing, we're back to normal turns, and players normally go first. So, who would like to go first?
I would like to go and
Yeah,
charge
someone
him
who's
with my
actually
sword.
good at shooting.
Okay.
So I'm going to
Or
use my
swording.
minor action to close the distance. No cover versus swords. And then,
Dapper, do you mind moving my token wherever it is in the dark so I can see around this corner?
I don't even know what token you have.
Whatever you gave me so that, like, I could exist.
Whose view do you have?
I don't know!
No, I'm not going to, because I don't know how.
Okay.
Alright, anyways, so I'm going to
Fuck
spend
you,
a momentum
Josh.
to get a third die.
Okay. All right. Well, then I am going to spend, let's see, that gave me another threat. So it should be at 13. I'm going to go down to 10 threat in order to get 2 extra dice.
Oof.
And that is going to be daring and security. Okay. Well, guess what? You succeeded at injuring the Romulan because I rolled 0 successes on 4 dice.
Excellent.
Nice.
The next emoji should be a Borg face. Well, I mean, we would have to get enough members. So, you know, if you want more emojis, there's 2 quick ways to do it. The first one is to join the channel. And the second one is to gift memberships or to send gifted memberships because they changed the verbiage on that for some reason. All right.
Yeah.
So that is, let's see. That was vicious. Okay, so that's 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. I will pay 2 additional threat to keep him up. So, Chesh, if you could bring me down to 8 threat, thank you. And actually, yeah, no, he's just going to punch you. He's going to try to punch you. Oh, no, he has a dagger. He draws a dagger, a Romulan dagger.
Weak.
Makes sense.
Pathetic dagger.
Let's go.
Roll your daring and...
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
I'll just say that a Romulan having a Romulan dagger makes sense.
Yes. And Borgenpuri says, I'm already a member. Well, then gift a few memberships.
I will spend another momentum again to get a total of 3 die.
Okay.
You rolled a 3.
I rolled a 3.
You succeed.
All right. 6
All right. Oh, no, he goes down. He's down. Yep. You got him. All right, so you can follow this corridor up to or down to over to. I don't know how directions work, so don't worry about it. But to engineering.
Yes, let's go to engineering.
Yeah.
Okay.
Becca again is gonna just make sure she's in the front.
Let me do a couple things here.
Where is
arrange
engineering?
yourselves in your marching order.
Are we heading right or up?
it doesn't matter. Just put yourself. There's going to be a new map for engineering, so
All right.
just put yourselves
I'll
in your
go up.
marching order. And
right.
yeah, up is fine. All right.
Unless anyone cares, I'll stick in the back then.
Dangerous.
Yeah, stay in the back. That's a good idea.
The safest place in a marching order is the middle, but hey, what do I know?
Except we've already cleared behind us.
We
Or
don't know
have
that.
you? What if the Romulans are cloaked?
I knocked on the window.
And
Mhm.
did you
Nothing
know that
happened.
Did you know that it is possible for there to be someone in a shuttle when you knock on the window, and for them to just not bother to respond to that?
I've heard that it's
No, I don't
think
illegal
that's
to
possible.
not
Actually, I
answer
think
the
you're
door.
incorrect.
Having
Okay, maybe.
windows tinted that strongly is actually illegal under Federation Traffic Law 2487.
See,
You are also
It's-
obligated by law to answer with who's there.
Sorry, did you say 2487? All male employees must wear skirts on the third Tuesday of each month.
No,
sounds-
that is
the third
personnel
Tuesday is
regulation. I'm talking
It's
about
not
traffic
just naked
regulation.
time.
Oh,
Haven't
right,
you
I'm
ever been on
sorry,
a submarine?
All right. So
Fun real fact: when I worked with submariners, because I worked with submariners before women were on, right? And but while women were being integrated, and I swear their main concern was like, but when will we have naked time?
Yeah, you'd actually be surprised that you just don't need to get dressed a lot of the time.
Yeah,
Starship
Yeah.
Troopers win.
they were so
I
concerned.
mean, do we really want to talk about when Starship Troopers is happening?
all right.
Living through
Also
a
only in the
high
movies.
government.
So
Go
someone
Check.
should go first.
Could you reduce our momentum by 1, please?
Yes.
And Lieutenant Matt, the Navigator, for $5 says, being in front of the line is the safest position. Romulans only stab people from the back because they have no honor.
Oh!
Facts.
Okay. All right. So, as you sorry, I'm on the wrong thing. As you approach engineering, you hear the unmistakable hum of an active warp core. Continued signs of the ship's deterioration give you pause. Panels hang loosely from the walls with only thin, worn wiring to hold them up. Most of the consoles are malfunctioning or not working at all. The consoles that appear to be functioning, however, risk shorting out at any minute, and I'm going to shift you guys over to here.
Oh.
Nice.
So, despite the fact the ship seems to be powered down, apparently the warp core is online and providing power.
Huh.
That is
Not
most
good.
suspicious.
That seems like an engineering thing.
Yeah, I want to check that out.
Well, let's hold on. Before we start solving engineering problems, we need to clear the room to make sure it's safe.
I love my crew. They're the best. They know everything about all the things that are going on. They would never make.
Yeah.
They got this. They're fine.
They do. They got this. All right. Well, the main engineering is up on the map, or north, because north and up are the same thing, actually. I don't know if you knew
they
this.
are.
Jake.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
Wait, is
Okay.
main engineering where? Which room is it?
We'll just
Boop.
follow
It's
Becca.
Boop.
Up.
Boop. Boop.
I guess we're leaving
on.
whoever that is behind.
So I assume we're kind of moving in our marching order until we get there.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
now that someone is in main engineering, you notice that there's a cylindrical device attached directly to the antimatter intermix valve. The device is approximately 2 meters in height and 1 meter in diameter. Very similar in appearance to a photon torpedo. It is if it were stood on one end.
Commander, that looks like a
That
photon
looks like a
torpedo.
bomb.
If it stood on one end.
Jillian, I need to know if that torpedo is armed.
Hi, sir. I will check this strange torpedo where it shouldn't be.
Reason and engineering difficulty 1.
And I'll order Becca to post up at the door in case we have visitors.
Excellent.
All right, so arrange yourselves into that arrangement. And
Okay.
let me double check here. So that is you gained momentum, and so not only is this some kind of strange device with which you are unfamiliar, it seems to be the source of the tachyon emissions, and also the warp core is becoming unstable as it deteriorates.
Can we do
That's
that
not
thing
good.
where we get extra
Remind me, that's a
information?
bad thing, right?
That is
I
indeed a
think
bad.
that's bad, sir.
Can we try to shut it down, maybe?
You can.
I don't know. I slept through my warp mechanics class.
And shield maintenance, by the sounds of it.
This
Other
isn't
character.
Ariana, this is Becca. Don't give
Oh
her
yeah,
shit for
sorry.
that.
Yes.
I'm tired. I apologize.
This is the valley girl with the phaser rifle. Don't make her angry.
Yeah,
right.
I have a specialty in nepotism.
So, can I do something with science or strictly engineering here?
All right, so here's the deal. If you want to shut down the core, first you're going to have to disconnect it from the device. That is itself going to be an extended task with a difficulty of 3 and a let's see. The work track is 18
Oof.
and the magnitude is 3. So let me get up a notepad to keep track here.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
All right. So I will allow up to 2 people to assist with the diffusing. You have 9 intervals until the warp core goes kablooey, and each attempt
That
will
doesn't sound
take
good.
2 intervals, which is also so you know, unless of course you can do things like use momentum to reduce how long it took, things like that.
And what's the skill being used here?
Reason and engineering. Although if you make a very compelling case, I might be willing to change that.
So what I would like to do, since I am crappy at that, is to call back to the ship.
Okay.
And I want to report the situation to the captain and ask if we have an expert in disarming bombs, whatever task this is, that can talk our engineering crew through this.
I pull up a book written by Shelby.
I would like to make the case for using science by not directly disengaging the device, but by analyzing the tachyon disruptions to dampen the negative consequences.
I like where you're going, but
the,
unfortunately, the warp core is going, and reducing the negative consequences of warp core explosion. It's sort of like saying, like, okay, but what if instead of putting the atomic bomb directly in my face, you put it 3 blocks away? It's like, technically that's better, but
not good enough. Okay.
by much.
Well,
With
what if I get in a
reason
refrigerator?
with reason and engineering, I get to 12.
All right, anyone got more than that?
I also have
No.
15.
9.
All right, who wants to be primary? We got 2 15s and a 12.
Yeah, I'll be secondary.
You got it. You're gonna be rolling on this one. So move yourself over by the over here.
Okay.
So who is guarding the door? There were 2 people who were supposed to be guarding. Becca and I think Tack.
And
too, right?
Tack.
Okay.
And since Va can't actually do anything with regards to this, I'll also be guarding the door.
Okay. So let's get the first roll on this. So remember, this is difficulty 3. It is
Since Va
reason and
called,
engineering.
since Va, or definitely not Va, called the ship, can I say,
Malka called.
can I recommend that maybe somebody should sweep the room for any invisible, cloaked Romulans, just in case?
Personal cloaking devices for Romulans isn't super a thing. That's more of a joke
Oh,
that we
okay.
told.
Alright.
Yeah.
Fine!
Way to be
I hang up the
prepared.
phone!
All right.
Well, I have 1 success.
Where is Chip's roll?
Am I primary or secondary? I missed that part.
You're primary.
primary.
On this.
Okay. So then I would like to use a momentum.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You do have a point of momentum.
Okay.
Do it. Nice.
Oh.
I rolled 3 by myself.
All right, so that
Nice.
is 4 successes, which is 1 more than you need, which means you could use that point of momentum to do something like reduce the amount of time it took for you to do this.
Do that. You should do
Yeah, it's-
that.
Yeah,
Makes
it sounds
useful.
like it sounds like that's a good idea.
Yeah, we're throwing
Alright.
a ball. Fast is good.
All right, so roll 4 challenge dice, which just means roll damage on one of your weapons, and we're going to count the first 4 dice that come up.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes the challenge dice roller works and sometimes it doesn't. Man.
Yeah,
Okay,
we
this
have
one
to
has.
roll one.
Oh, that is bad.
That
That's
is
not good.
exceptionally bad. Yep. All right, well, you have 8 intervals left. Unfortunately, before you can start the next one. Oh no! Romulans!
Romulans. Oh
in the
no,
corridor!
they aren't even cloaked.
One of them fires towards the attack.
Shut up.
Chesh, bring me down to 7 threat. I'm going to spend a point of threat to give him an extra die.
Is
I
this still
really-
the same scene, yeah?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Well, he can shoot at me all he wants.
I really hope that we get a bunch of momentum just from shooting these guys in the face.
All right, so a disruptor blast from the disruptor pistol hits you. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to do anything because you gained immunity. All right, it is now the player's turn. So here's how this is going to work. If you guys who are working on this want to continue working, that's fine. But each attempt, if it's 2 intervals, that's 2 whole rounds. And if you decide to fight instead, that's intervals that are going to pass without you working on this. So it's up to you guys. But who's going first?
The fighty guys will do the fighting. You guys do
Yeah.
the bombing thing.
Yeah.
We are
keep
bad
working
at
on it.
fighting anyway.
I look down as the shield around me flickers and their disruptor does nothing, and I aim my phaser directly at their face, or at the first one's face.
Okay.
I'm gonna use my focus of handheld energy weapons. I'm gonna use my minor action of aim. I'm gonna give you a threat to get an extra die.
Okay. Also, Admiral Snappy Turtle points out that there could be Jem Hadar in the room. That's true. There could be.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. So that's 3 momentum that you gained back there.
Hey, that's that thing I said. Good job.
Yes.
That's my delegation
Sorry.
skill at work.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. All right. This guy is actually not a guy. That's
First round of combat, we're gonna maintain the initiative.
very smart.
Do you wanna take-
and,
Yeah.
Becca can go ahead and go.
Okay. I'll shoot at the one that is closest. I will use my minor action to aim.
You should shoot at the same one that
Yeah.
7 hit. So we
Yeah,
can
that's
take
the
him
same
out.
one as the one
Yes.
who's.
Yeah.
Okay. And that is control security.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
With my focus of hand phasers. Okay.
All right.
Oh my
So
God.
that's another
How did I
momentum that goes up.
Nice.
You
Nice.
definitely
Momentum
hit.
for
And
us.
Jordan, can you roll the damage?
you got it.
Because thank you.
And just ignore that last die.
All right. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Jeez.
Nice.
All right. No, this guy goes down.
Nice.
All right. But this one, who seems to be higher ranking, she decides she is going to spend a point of threat in order to fire a pistol at Becca.
And
let's
she
see.
has a red dot.
Do it.
Can I
Yeah.
just like stand in the way?
It doesn't matter. She doesn't hit.
There is
Sorry.
an ability that allows you to shield people.
I'll go now. I will use my minor action to charge to give my phaser the vicious property.
Okay.
And I won't use momentum because we're trying to generate it for the other guys. But I do have my focus. There we go.
Nice.
Nice.
And there's your damage.
Here, I give you
Good thing I did
snaps.
vicious. Look at that.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. All right. Well, that higher ranking Romulan is out.
Was there
All right, that
momentum
means it
generated
is-
by that, or no?
Yes, there was 2 momentum
Two?
generated by
Okay,
that. so
I
we
just
should be up
wanted to
full.
double check.
But this Romulan is going to come forward, and he's going to use a disruptor rifle and try to fire it
Ooh.
at attack,
no.
which you are not immune to.
Why
And
would you
also-
rifle a disruptor barrel?
So that costs me 1 threat because it's an escalation, and it's going to cost me an extra threat because I am spending it to get an extra die. And I have to double check here on the control and security rating. Okay. Let's see. So that is indeed a hit. Could you roll me a 3 challenge dice? Because I'm giving you some pretty good cover because you have a big old bulkhead there.
Hey.
Nice.
All right. So you were going to block 3 damage out of this, which is 7 full, but that brings it down to 4.
Ooh,
So,
only got- I've got a lot of stress on me right now.
Yeah. All right, but it is now the turn of the group because if you guys are assisting, which I assume you are, we're not going to take individual turns for everyone. We're just going to take a turn for Chip, and then everyone else is going to be assisting on that. So, Chip, why don't you give me your roll, assuming that you want to keep working on the device?
I do.
Okay. So we have 6 momentum. I highly recommend using a bunch of it.
Use
All right, I'll.
3, maybe?
Yeah, that's what I was going to suggest. So 4
Uh,
dice.
Before you use it, can you not use it after you've hit as well? So, like, if you hit it when you're rolling your, like, how much
Yeah,
you get done
you
on
could-
it, you
Yeah,
can
but
use it there
we
as well.
we have to hit 3 before we can do anything. If we
Yeah,
don't
I'm
hit
just-
3, then we can't do anything.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, we can also spend it afterwards to improve it or to take only half time, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
What do we got?
I'm gonna roll now. I got
All right. Well,
4
that's
by
one-
myself.
Yep. So that's 1 extra point of momentum. Give me the 2 assists.
Nice.
let's-
So we also get a lot of momentum back.
Yeah,
So
you got
that's-
all of that momentum back. So you're back up to 6.
Yep.
So
spend 1, so it only takes 1 round.
you can also spend 1 to roll an extra die if you want on the damage.
Sure.
Definitely.
Sounds
All right.
good.
So, why don't you just roll a damage roll there, Jordan?
Oh, I already rolled it.
Oh, you are. That's fine. So
So-
you need to roll actually 1 more die.
Okay, I'll just click it again and it's 0.
Alright.
So
Yeah. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Okay. So that take that down. There are now 7 rounds left until it goes kablooey. And we are at the top of another turn. So, players, go ahead.
I feel like I should shoot back at the douchebag that shot me.
I agree.
I feel like you
right.
should do that. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you another threat, so I can get 3 dice. Focus on. I'm gonna use my minor action of aiming.
Nice.
All right. Well, that's 2 momentum. And let's see. So 2. Oh wait, did you want to re-roll the 0?
Oh yeah.
It could give you. Actually, it doesn't. Well, you could use.
It could give you momentum. It could also give
Yeah.
us a complication.
All right. So give me
Talking
another
about
point
it.
of threat there, Chesh, and that's 2, 3, 4 stress.
Wonderful.
Okay.
That's my favorite.
All right. So, I'm going to spend a point of threat. So,
I love the critical fails in this game. They're so hilarious and very
Yeah.
like you can do a lot with
Mhm.
them. They're a lot of fun.
all right. So he's going to fire back with that disruptor, which means I'm also going to spend another point of threat. So he should be down to 6 now.
Okay.
And that is indeed a hit.
I'm immune to that one now, though, aren't
Did you switch it out?
I? Did I not roll the challenge dice? Oh shit! I forgot to roll the challenge
Yeah,
dice.
just roll a challenge dice real quick. We'll see what happens.
What's it say when okay, so one sec.
Nope.
Nope, bugger.
All right, so that is 8 points of stress, but roll 3 challenge dice because you can reduce this because of your cover. All right, so it goes down to 6, which I still think takes you out of the fight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oof.
All right.
All right.
So it's our turn, right?
Yes.
Malka, seeing 7 go down, is going to break cover to tank for the group and attack with her sword.
All right. Let's get that daring and security.
Use 1 momentum to get 3 die.
Okay.
Did I win?
Actually, yes, you did, and you restore that point of momentum.
Fantastic. And then there's my damage.
All right, and that's with vicious. So that's 2, 4, 6, 7, 9, 10. Yeah, that's enough.
Whew.
That's
We
Okay.
should have just sent both of the Vaz.
Yeah.
Just a kill squad.
Yeah.
Like Reinhardt and Orisa on top of the payload.
Yeah.
All right.
Overkill is underrated.
The warp core though is still in trouble. So, Chip, what do you got? You got 6
Okay.
momentum is what you got.
3, burning 3 again, I take it.
Do. I can use a determination to make a die roll automatic 1, right?
Which value are you invoking?
Let's see here. Which would be most appropriate?
I don't know.
Okay. How about I have 2 that might work. So I'm gonna just throw out the one I want to work the most, and then if it doesn't work, I'll try the other. I have the ability to fix many things, but I secretly hate doing so.
You can challenge that. You could challenge that value.
Challenge that would give them an extra point of determination.
Yes.
Oh, it doesn't do
Use
that.
later.
No, it
Yeah,
doesn't
would-
the
so
same
What
thing.
that would do though is you could have 2 points of determination. So if you wanted to, that
Okay, I do have another one
okay.
that I could use to spend it. I always use a sufficiently adequate tool. So I create a tool that helps me fix this.
Yeah, I'll allow that. So here's you have 2 basic options. I will allow you to challenge that and get an extra point of determination, which you could use in 2 subsequent turns to get that automatic extra 2 successes if you want. But it does mean that you have to scratch out that value and change it between sessions.
Interesting.
To reflect the fact that you have challenged it, and now you've learned something about fixing things that makes you feel differently about it. Does that seem like a fair thing to do? All right, so on this particular roll, you won't get that automatic 2, but what you can do is still spend as much momentum as you want on extra dice.
Okay, I'm fine with that. Okay, so how much momentum we got? 6? Okay, I'll spend 3.
Okay. All right. So that's 4 dice, and also assist type people. Roll your 1 die each.
I got a complication.
So, and there should be 1 more person. Jillian and who else?
I
Becca
clicked
hasn't
it.
gone, but
There it is, but it's a 0.
All right. Becca doesn't have a whole lot because all the Romulans are gone now.
As a total of 4.
Yeah.
I'm just. Can I check on 7?
Yeah, absolutely.
Under first aid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's
that's a
see.
good
I'm going
idea.
to take that point of threat up, but that is also you're at 4 momentum, which you can spend 1 to make this only cost 1.
Yeah, 1 unit of time. Yeah, that sounds good.
All right. So roll those 4 challenge dice.
I got
Alright.
a total of 4.
All right. So the work track is now 10 left.
Were
would
you
you-
planning on using any of the momentum to make the track go more?
Use a momentum to roll an extra die and another momentum to go faster.
Okay.
Well, we already used one momentum to go faster, so yeah, you
Okay.
can use one to roll
Yeah.
extra die.
Yeah,
Alright, yeah, roll
Okay,
it.
I'll roll an
Going
extra
faster is
die.
the best value because that means we get double the rolls.
All right, so not only is that an extra point of the work track filled up, but it's also a breakthrough.
There you
so
go.
you have figured out exactly how this device is connected, and so you have a better idea of how to successfully disconnect it, which means if you would like, you can now spend that point of determination to get that automatic roll of a 1 on an extra die, as well as, if you want, you could pay another 2 momentum to get a 4th die on it.
It turns out the fix to this is it's actually as old as the ship itself, and it's duct tape and Gorilla Glue.
So I can spend my determination to what was it again?
So first of all, Maddie, we're getting some background noise from you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's all good.
Fixed.
So if you spend a point of determination to invoke that value of yours, which by the way gives you a one of the milestones just for doing this, you can have an extra die that counts as already having rolled a 1, which is 2 successes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, if you want, you could spend 2 more momentum to get a 4th dice that you're going to have to roll, and basically you're going to roll 3 dice if you do that. Or if you don't, then you could just, roll 2 dice, and now we also count you as having 2 successes already. So, up to you.
Good
I'll roll
increase
the 3
odds,
dice and get the one with the 2 successes.
All right. So, Chesh, if you could reduce this to 1 momentum.
Boop.
All right. Or just
That's-
bring it back up to 3.
That's... And then we get the helpers, right?
Give me some rolls for those helpers. So that's to 4, and there we go. So we are at 4 momentum now. You have succeeded. Do you want to spend 1 to reduce the interval to 1?
Yes.
All right, roll that damage.
All right. Boop. Oh, that's not good.
All right, well that's 2. If you want, you could spend another point of momentum, bring it back to 3, and roll
Yeah,
that.
let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay,
I got a 0.
that's okay. So let's go again. You can do the same trick again.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
All right, bring us down to 1 momentum, Chesh. All right.
And I got
so
3
that is,
ones, helpers.
So now we're back up to 3 momentum, and then I'm up to 8 threat
Ooh.
and 9 threat.
I'm helping. I promise.
You're having a bad time.
So we're
The
at
ship-
3 momentum right now.
Oh
The
no!
ship
I didn't
rocks
do last.
slightly and they trip over it.
Would you like to use one of those momentum to reduce the interval?
Yes.
Okay. And
So then
roll
we're down
that.
to 0, is it? Or what are we at?
You have 3 more intervals left, and a work track of 7, and 2 breakthroughs left to get through.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll roll. Can I roll the extra dice also? Do we have enough for that?
Yeah, you have 2 momentum, so if you want to, you can spend 1 to roll an extra die.
Yeah, I'll do that.
All right, let's see what you got.
Boop,
2, 3,
boop, and then boop.
4. All right. You only have 3 left and 3 intervals and 2 momentum.
You feel better about
Use
it?
another point of determination because you are out of determination.
All right. So what I'm gonna do is I'll use 1 momentum. Roll 3 dice.
Okay.
Question: Can
Crap.
can you spend determination on an assist roll?
Generally, yes.
Okay, since Va is not currently engaged in combat, I
Okay.
would like to run in and invoke a value to assist using my
right.
determination.
So here's the problem, though. An assist roll doesn't help unless the primary rolls at least 1 success, which did not happen.
Oh, okay, never
Yeah.
mind then.
So That puts me up to 10 threat, and that took 2. You have 1 interval left. Basically, this is it. You're either going to break through, or you're going to emergency transport out, and it's not going to be great.
Okay.
This ship has no shields!
Hold on.
So, real quick. So, what do we have to do to succeed here?
You need it to get at least 2 breakthroughs, which is going to require you to cause at least 5 track-based damage, basically.
Which is kind of the maximum we can do with broken ship.
And if we choose not to do that and instead teleport out, is that as dangerous? Is it safer for us to teleport out now?
Not really. It's also dangerous for you to teleport out no matter what, because it's already dangerous for the transporter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's die with honor and glory.
So if you fail this, you will have time to transport out as if you had just bothered to transport out now. But no matter what, if you transport out, it'll be a bad time. Also, it'll destroy that runabout.
Yeah.
Right. And I assume we don't have time to get to the runabout.
No.
Okay. Then in that case, I will now run in and assist. And broken ship should not get 0 successes so that we can do that.
Okay.
All right.
You have no momentum, but you can spend threat.
Yeah. Spend the threat.
I will. So
How much threat you giving me?
Yeah. It's got 10 right now.
I'll give 3. I'm fine with that.
Okay. Not 6?
No.
You should totally just give him 6.
What more is he gonna do?
I got
Well,
2.
as we figured out with the Klingons, 12 threat lets him have.
All right. So Jordan, you're getting an automatic 2 on that one.
Right. And I am going to use the value decisive action saves lives, hesitation costs them.
All right. We're only getting 1 assist on this, so whoever has the higher roll.
Jillian should do it.
Okay.
Nah.
That's another threat. So that means you have 1 momentum, which I would suggest using on the damage roll.
Yeah,
this.
yeah. Think.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
So here it goes.
5 symbols. Yeah.
2.
That's good. That's not good.
That's not good.
4.
I got a 2 though.
Oh,
No,
so that's
not
only
enough.
4.
That's 5.
that is a break. No, that's a breakthrough. That's 4
Oh, right.
because you rolled 5 dice. So that last one doesn't count. So that's 1, 2. So, yeah. At this point, Commander Dulles,
Yeah.
I would like for you to give me a difficulty for daring and engineering check to transport everyone else safely.
Difficulty for daring and engineering.
Yeah.
I would like to give you so much.
Are we sure you want her to be transporting us? Remember what
Hold
happened?
on. First of all, do you have a value you could use? Because you probably have determination.
Okay. That's
2,
true. I do have determination.
is there, are we all being teleported out at once, or do we need to go in batches?
Nah, you can all go out at once. It's fine.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, shoot. Okay. So I have a value. A starship is nothing without its crew.
That definitely
That's
counts.
a good one.
Okay. So let me use that one.
Okay.
Okay. What's the complication range for this?
This is going to be complication range 2 now that you asked about it.
Okay. Sorry, I had my complication range set to, and I think that's wrong. Anyway.
It should be normally set to.
Okay, good. Cool. Love that journey for me.
The last one
difficulty
you rolled was a
4.
20 anyway, so.
I would definitely love to give you threat so that I can roll 4 dice.
Okay.
That's how that works, right? Okay.
So if you want to roll 4 dice in addition to the extra die that you got, that is going to cost you 5 threat. So I'm going to be up to 20.
No, wait.
Ooh,
no.
boy.
Because normally,
It shouldn't increase
no. I want
twice.
to roll a total of 4 dice.
Yep, but you're already putting determination in, so that means if you're rolling 4, you're actually
But
having
that
5 dice
shouldn't
total.
increase the that shouldn't increase the price, though.
It doesn't increase the price, but if you want to buy a third die, it costs the third die price, but she's already got one. So then she's actually buying a fourth die, which is 2 points, and then a fifth die.
Yeah, but
is
that
3
is
more points.
increasing the price. She's just buying the.
Yep. If you want to buy additional dice, it costs the price for that die, not for how many you have bought. So if you have a third die from some other thing, and you want to buy an additional die on top of that,
so you always use determination after buying dice, then it's cheaper.
Oh, okay. Well, I would like to give you 2 threat so that I am rolling a total of.
All right. So yeah, you're actually going to end up rolling 3, but 1. We're just going to know that you have another one that counts as a 1.
Okay. Cool.
All right.
So
So
I will
your
do that.
17th threat.
And I have my focus because I have a focus in transporters.
Yep.
And my daring is bad, but okay.
Let's see what we got. All right. So that is 3.
Oh,
Has 2 from
Sorry.
the determination.
okay.
Total of
That
3.
was a 3. That was the success range, right?
No, it was 4.
It was 4.
Unless we got it down
Crap.
somehow.
No, yeah, it was 4. All right.
It
So
was 4.
But does the ship get to assist?
Oh.
the ship actually does get to assist.
Oh.
Okay.
That's the point. The ship can assist with its. I'm going to say that you're routing power through into the transporters, and you can assist with the engines and engineering.
Oof.
Chest
Hey.
Oh, we got it.
Just enough. Oof.
Barely.
and bullet.
That's
Yeah,
5.
in part because I was nice.
Yes.
Actually, no, you rolled a
Yeah.
4. You would have.
It rolled a 4, would've done it for
almost.
anything.
Yeah, no matter what happened. All right, so the ship barely helps you guys get out of there, and Chesh,
Mm.
could you reduce the total threat for me
Uh-huh.
by 14, please?
Ooh.
Oh,
Okay.
What is going on?
That's the end of
All
scene
the
span.
Romulans.
Yes, because everyone on the bridge encounters a Romulan warbird decloaking with its shields up and its weapons charged, and that's a new scene. So let's bring that momentum down to 0.
Shite.
All right. Next scene. Everyone can hurry off to the bridge if you want, but hey, there's
Becca's
there's a
gonna get
Romulan.
tacked to sick bay.
I'm gonna assume that basically everyone except Tack, or Bex, actually everyone except Craig is playing their main character. Craig, if you want to activate a supporting character, you can.
I guess the counselor could have just been on the bridge for some reason.
All right. Hey, we got Nezumi up on the bridge, with her antennae and white hair.
Yeah.
Just came up here to I need to relax.
All right. I'm just going to assume that Malka is back in sickbay working on the whole "I'm dying" thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
So Va is on the bridge.
Va is on the bridge,
Please
right?
I want to hear Dr. Hobnall's lecture to Malka about you leaving. You're dying.
All right. So, Robert said, "What the game mom giveth, it's true. I've taken away." There's a hail coming in, Chip. So you should probably report that.
It's looking like we got a hail.
On screen.
Good formal communication there.
That's odd weather in space.
If we survive this, you, I'm sure another one of you are all getting training.
So I need to double check on the commander. What's on all that? Sorry. Oh yes. So there is a rather severe-looking Romulan man on the view screen who says, "I presume that this is Captain Tenelia of the Kongzi I'm speaking to."
This is Captain Tenelia. Would you like to inform me of who you are and why you're in Federation space?
I am Commander Marok, and I am here investigating war crimes by the Federation in the form of violating treaties that we have against the development of new weapons of mass destruction, which clearly the Federation violated some few decades ago.
In regards to... Am I aware of what this is?
The tachyon device that was on board the USS Hamilton that you just destroyed, killing several of my crew members while they were on a simple reconnaissance mission to determine what was going on with an apparent Federation superweapon.
The tachyon weapon we created with a ship that was decommissioned and was broken into pieces as per Federation regulation?
Except that it was right here, and I don't think that you personally were involved in the creation of the device. I feel like it might have been before your time. But here it is. A Federation superweapon near the Romulan neutral zone on in orbit of, what was it, an agricultural colony? Is that what the excuse was?
Certainly something worth investigating.
It would be. Except that the Hamilton just was destroyed. Which, by the way, according to my sensors, is causing the tachyon emission levels here to spike, which means that the reason that I'm not currently destroying you is because I feel like I don't want to age to death here in the next few days.
Yeah, get a reading.
So someone give me a difficulty 0 reason and science check, which can be assisted by the ship's sensors and science.
I've only got 8 in that.
Can you please explain to me why
I got
you
12.
didn't respond when we hailed to find out what was going on with this entire situation? And why your investigation crew attacked mine when we were also investigating the area?
Speak as to why they would attack, except that perhaps they were trying to defend our investigation from the government that was developing this weapon in the first place and was presumably trying to reclaim it. And by the way, yes, the tachyon emissions are all over the place, and yeah, this colony is a loss. You're going to have to evacuate everyone. Which does mean that technically you have failed the mission. So when it comes to reputation rolls, you guys failed. Remember that.
Yeah. Can I?
I'd just like to point out it was Malka that failed, not Va.
I wasn't there either.
The crew failed the mission, so the crew takes the reputation hit.
Yep.
Okay.
What were you gonna say?
So,
sorry, Maddie was gonna say something.
try to shoot you a telepathic message that is.
You are an telepath, aren't you?
No, I am not, sir. I am a
Oh, you're a
telepath.
full telepath. Okay, got it.
Yep.
Okay.
The message is just the tachyons might be natural.
Okay, but they're definitely not, though.
Oh, okay. Listen.
These are free
listen.
range tachyons.
They
Listen.
were absolutely
Organic
coming
tachyons.
Listen, my wild theory is that it was a
Free range.
natural phenomena that pulled the ship out of time.
Well, it was a natural phenomenon in the sense that it wasn't ghosts.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but it was an artificial phenomenon in the sense that it was definitely caused by people.
So we need to know
Okay.
what's gone on here. So, all right, I'm gonna stand up out of my chair because that's what I do when I'm being serious.
Yeah.
I could probably do one of those little like tail swish things. That's like
I'm gonna
clearly
also do the Picard maneuver where you pull your shirt down to make sure there's no wrinkles.
yeah,
Yeah,
the
Picard.
Picard maneuver. I am going to use my disarming nature mixed with my diplomacy.
Okay.
And
All right. What's the plan here?
my plan is to say that, all right, I'll be upfront with you. We were sent to investigate the tachyons with no knowledge of this ship here. We tried to communicate multiple times with your crew. They did not answer us. They may have viewed us as a threat. Understandable, however. You didn't respond from your ship either, where we would not have necessarily been a threat to you directly. However, I agree that this needs to be investigated because it is possible that it was done by a rogue group somewhere within the Federation. And neither of us want to age to death. So, how do we work this out?
Alright, give me a command and presence roll there. Or presence and command, doesn't matter. You know
Okay.
what to do.
Presence command, focus on, yes.
Yeah, you have diplomacy focus, so absolutely.
Alright, and does my talent do anything extra?
Depends which talent.
Yeah, disarming nature is, despite their reputation for being fierce warriors, Caitians are extremely sociable and adept at putting others at ease. Whenever you are engaged in a social conflict, you reduce the difficulty of any test to make your target relaxed or to trust you by 1.
It sure does.
Sweet! So what am I rolling?
This
Yeah.
roll.
0
you're rolling
roll?
presence and command.
Alright.
Well,
I'm gonna give you 1 threat for
It
next.
is now difficulty 0, so you don't actually have to roll it if you don't want to. But you could get momentum.
So there... no, I want to just pass. I'm great.
Fine.
Fuck it, I don't want to risk a complication. It's not worth it.
Well, the Romulan commander says, I am going to leave a probe here for as long as it lasts. And I suggest that you leave that probe be. You can evacuate your civilians if that's what they are. And, we'll be watching. And I noticed that your shields are down. I'm assuming that's because there's a problem. If you do anything besides evacuate the civilians and leave, we will fire on you. And I'm assuming that your shields won't be up and that will be a bad time for you.
We will ensure that that gets done in a timely manner under the conditions that you have set.
Captain, as a gesture of good faith, we may want to return their crew member that we have in the brig.
Yes.
No one mentioned the bruises.
We have one of your
You're
members.
unconscious.
We have one of your members that was left behind on the planet. Would you like them returned?
Yes, I will send a shuttle, beam him to the shuttle. I'm not lowering my shields. The shuttle will have no shields, though, so you can beam him there. I'm glad to know that at least one of my crew survived your tender retentions.
Tender, yes.
Hey, we could transport a clone again. We can give him 2 of them back.
That would be very funny.
That would be something. All right, so
The cost
the plan
of
to execute-
firing first and asking questions later.
right. So I'm assuming that is the plan. Does anyone have anything else? That they
I
want
to make sure that that man hits the med bay before we send him over.
Okay. All right.
Because it's going to take time
you
for the
should probably-
shuttle, right?
You should probably, well, not much, but you should probably tell Commander Marok that you're going to treat his wounds first.
Yeah, I do that.
Well, Marok says, I think that will be unnecessary. We have our own doctor. They're well trained in Romulan anatomy, as you might be able to imagine.
As you say.
I hope that he's been treated well. I'll be sure to ask. And I'm sure if he hasn't been, that it might be some kind of additional diplomatic problem. I'm sure the Federation wouldn't mistreat captives now, would they?
Not that I'm aware of.
Good to know.
If there is
Alright,
any
proceed
issue with his handling, please be sure to alert me, because I would like to handle it.
I will let the diplomats deal with that problem.
Perfect.
I'm so getting fired.
Yeah, you guys didn't do super well on this one, but that's okay. Sometimes failure is fun. All right, so we are going to go ahead and
Odds of
assume that
TPK
you
going
guys-
up. Odds of TPK by the captain going up.
No, Commander Marok is okay with you transporting him over to the shuttle that he sends out, and you commence the evacuation, which actually doesn't take super long. There aren't that many people.
Yeah.
And you have a runabout that can assist. There's also, you have time to make careful, like, transport arrangements, so I'm not going to make people roll for it. And I will say that it doesn't... It doesn't take terribly long to get everyone evacuated, although as you do, you all notice that you've gone a bit grayer and you seem to have a few extra wrinkles. Seems like everyone here has aged a few years.
Hey, I feel personally attacked.
Sorry. But
I'll just replace those
Well,
parts.
Hold on. So, point of order.
Yeah,
Are
we have
just condemning Malka to death?
Yeah,
Or...
how long does this take?
well, that's a good question. What are you going to do? It's going to take probably too long. You could try to get Malka in a runabout.
What do
you do?
I have a suggestion. Out of
Because
character.
you only have one runabout, actually, because one of them was just destroyed.
Yeah.
We could try to contact, Federation Command or something, and see if there's like a Trill symbiote that is available that they could arrange to get closer. You know what I mean?
I have another idea.
Symbiotes have trouble being transported out of hosts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have another idea. We could contact and have somebody attempt to meet the runabout halfway to get faster. So we can send the runabout out, and though the runabout on its own might not be fast enough, but whoever meets them halfway would be able to take them the rest of the way fast enough.
What does Malka think?
Well, my question would be, would our ship not being involved in these evacuations lead to any loss of life?
Yeah.
It's not obvious. There are a lot of tachyons, and the delay could cause someone to age to death, but it's not super likely.
Because Malka isn't going to put her own well-being above the lives of Federation citizens.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's any risk that someone on the planet is going to die, or even just like the collective loss of all of their experience, because like she thinks of lives in that sort of episodic way, you know? I don't think Malka wants the ship to leave. In fact, Malka, seeing that she only has a few hours to live anyway, would probably insist on being on the ground to help with the evacuation.
Well, I'm pretty sure Malka has a few days to live, not hours.
Not with the temporal.
Not with the tachyons, no.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
The tachyons.
Yeah, Malka has like 4 or 5 hours if she stays in system.
All right, so
Yeah.
here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. We're going to contact the closest fast ship. We're going to tell them that it's an emergency and we need them to meet our runabout as soon as as fast as they can get to it.
Okay.
We're going to send her on the runabout but we're not going to drop the runabout out where we are. We're going to go to the edge of the system, drop it out, and then grab everybody. Because that should be close enough to not lose anybody anywhere.
All right.
That's our best
All right.
bet.
So here's what I'm going to go for.
To
I'm going to
satisfy
say
everyone.
Dr. Hobnall. So that is in play. The runabout is already on the way. There is an Intrepid class ship that is on its way from Narendra Station to rendezvous
if
with the
Dr.
runabout.
Hobnall can stay with her to keep her going longer on the runabout, that would be awesome.
All right. In that case, do we have someone who would like to make the medical check to see how many people survive from the colony?
Actually,
Well, again,
we can do that with Hobnall's role, as long as we're in communication with him.
So hold on. Would having the runabout, help speed up the evacuations?
Yes.
So, when this plan is put in place, I'm imagining Va and Malka are there with the captain, and Malka, upon hearing this, is going to say, "Respectfully, Captain, I refuse."
Basis.
First of all, my life exists to be joined with a symbiote. Without that, I'm not me. And I would rather lay down my life to save Federation citizens because that's what I swore to do.
And
me leaving the system will lead to the deaths of citizens.
You're
killing them to...
Not necessarily.
Respectfully, Captain, you're wrong. You're taking a risk to save me because of your own personal feelings.
We'll point out that technically all you can do is reliever of duty, at which point, well, you still can't force her onto the shuttle. Legally, all you can
Yeah.
do is say, well, you're disobeying an order. But if she then dies, that doesn't mean a whole lot. So there's not much power that you have in that situation. if
Yeah,
she
no,
doesn't wanna get on.
I'm more just having done the math in my head. The math should check out that no one should die except for her in this scenario.
Well, I'm going to tell you, there is going to be a daring medicine check coming up for someone. And if it goes poorly, there will be dead colonists.
But if I understand correctly Hobnull's ability, anybody can roll with Hobnull's medical score. As long,
That doesn't
right?
guarantee anything, and the difficulty will be lower if there is a runabout available.
Right.
So
But
no
is
matter
that how
what,
it that is how it works though, right?
So no matter what, though,
Okay.
there will be a higher chance of colonists dying if you send the runabout. So,
So-
it is that is the
All
game.
right.
Is it
So
gonna be a
she's not
huge case?
wrong. Okay.
She's not wrong. It is a higher risk if you send her in the runabout. So, is Malka gonna sacrifice herself?
If
Oh,
So,
Jordan, did you freeze?
my,
Oh,
my,
okay.
my question is, after I make my case, is the captain still ordering me to leave?
I have an idea. It's gonna make Dapper really angry.
Let's hear it.
I'm gonna go to my ready room,
Okay.
and I'm going to hail the Romulans.
Okay.
Mhm.
Commander Merrick appears on screen and says, "I wasn't expecting to hear back from you, Captain.
We have a bit of a situation,
I would
And-
say so.
and
I
I
would
was
hurry up with the evacuation."
and I was wondering if I could request your assistance.
You don't have a whole lot of bargaining chips, Captain, but what do you have in mind?
Do you have a spare shuttle?
No.
I have an individual on my ship
Hmm.
that has faced a complication due to duplication.
Oh. And
And they need to be out of this system instantly, as quickly as possible.
so you're asking me to hand over Romulan technology so that instead of being 9-0, we can be. Oh, sorry, instead of being 9-1, we can be 9-0 on this little exchange.
I'm
Is that
well. That's
What you're asking?
one option, but I'm open to
Mhm.
hearing more. You have a handful of ships in the area. If you could take her in the direction.
Captain, you killed 9 of my crew You'll have to forgive me if I'm not very interested in handing over Romulan technology to save one of yours.
Did we kill 9?
Well, 9 people died on the Hamilton when it exploded,
Oh, okay.
which I am assuming.
Sorry, I was asking out of out of character.
It-
Um,
It can be argued it wasn't our fault, but I don't think he will
so
accept
that's
that.
not like a yeah.
It would have been easier to defuse a bomb if we weren't getting shot at.
But what if you don't hand it over and you simply taxi her?
I'm sorry, you want us to take one of your officers on a shuttle controlled by us?
Yes,
Absolutely.
thank you. I will
Okay.
inform the people that are there to meet you that she will be in fact on a ship of that sort, and where you can meet them.
I know where to meet people, don't worry.
Turns out
well,
she's dead.
I'm launching a shuttle.
And they were never seen again.
Yeah, that's.
I assume Malka's not in the room. so-
No, I'm not.
No.
I'm
But
ass-
you do need to talk to Malka in order to get her to figure out what's going. Like,
Yeah, but
get her to
so
go to
I'm
the transport room.
assuming I'm assuming that I can read this guy. Can I get like is there an insight check, quote unquote?
Yeah, give me a command and insight check, difficulty 2.
Okay. Command insight. Oof, I'm not good at this. Is this diplomacy?
Yeah, I'll
Focus.
give you that.
Okay. That's 3.
Okay, so you get a point of momentum.
Okay.
Yeah, the chances that he's going to rendezvous with any Federation ship with Commander Malka on board his shuttle is basically 0. If you hand over Commander Malka to a shuttle controlled by the Romulans, she's going to be tortured and interrogated until she dies.
Which is like 20 minutes from now. It's fine.
Well, it'd be 3 days from now if I'm not on the planet.
If you're not within the range of the tachyons, right?
Well, in the system, it'll probably be like 7 or 8 hours.
And how far are we away from having shields up?
At least a day.
Yeah.
I'm just trying my
Romulans
best.
Or like assistance is probably not gonna.
I'm doing
work
my
out terribly
best.
well.
I roll.
I know.
Well, yeah. I'm just doing what I can.
Sometimes though, the crew takes casualties.
Yeah, no, that's just gonna be the case. I'm just trying to think my way around it if there's a way I can do it, but I don't think there is. Because all I can think of, like, if we try to take over the shuttle, it's just going to...
Yeah. Alright, well, in that case, I'm gonna call it that is not gonna work out.
No,
and in
that's
fact,
not gonna fly.
Commander Malka does in fact die not too long after the evacuation gets underway, but you are successfully able to get everyone off the planet. Lieutenant Matt the Navigator for $2 says, just roll the dice with a transporter buffer.
For all of the people, all the vineyard people.
No, well, there's also that if you put someone in the transporter buffer, that is fewer people that you're transporting for every single transport.
Yeah.
Malka, are you okay with that?
Absolutely not.
All right, Malka has determined that she's going to die now, everybody.
No, if there was a way for Malka, so there's 2 competing things. Malka is a host for a symbiote, which is, to her knowledge, rare. So her primary desire would be to get back to Trill so that she can be a host. However, she's a Starfleet officer through and through, and so she would not do that at the cost of anyone else's life.
And her Trill is already in her other body. So,
so
like,
she could take on another.
She could take
symbiote.
another one, but yeah.
In that case, that is where we're going to wrap things up. You guys managed to get everyone on board. Commander Malka, unfortunately, does pass away.
Yeah.
But you have successfully saved all the civilians. And Starfleet isn't going to be super happy about the fact that they lost this strategically important agricultural world that was...
Well, then maybe they shouldn't put a bomb there.
They're just pissed they can't get cheap wine.
We should ask the admirals about that.
No, that's outside of our...
that?
First off, that's outside of your pay grade.
Well, I didn't say me.
None of us get paid.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, thank you so much. I hope that everyone had a lot of fun. I'm going to double check as to what is the next episode. But do remember, we do reputation rolls off air. So I want to explain how that kind of works for the audience. So reputation rolls are a mechanic that allows you to change how you interact with basically people who might have heard of you. So like Federation members, Starfleet members, or if you're famous enough, maybe even members of other groups. And so basically when you do things poorly, you can get negative reputational damage, basically. And so there are a series of questions that people have to answer, and some of them, if the answer is yes, then you get a negative point. And so that will be the case for just about everyone here. But the next episode is called Fading Suns. That will be episode 8. So please tune in. The plan right now is next week. And if anyone here can't be here for that, please let me know as soon as you can. Also, hey, tomorrow at noon Pacific, whatever time that is for you, I don't know, I'm going to be doing a show on my main channel. We're going to be going for basically probably about 6 hours. It is for my birthday. That is, in fact, tomorrow. So if you want to come hang out with me for my birthday, thank you. So if you want to come hang out with me for my birthday, check out that over on Dapper Dinosaur. Other than that, unless anyone has anything that's coming up in the next couple of days that they want to announce real quick, we're going to get out of here.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
All right, I've sent you my doodad.